Hello, I'm Eagle Gardens 1 on Instagram. And this is fucking talking shit with Eagle and Smiley. And this is the Wormhole, episode 340. How you guys doing? It's Mr. Smiley, how you doing tonight?
Feeling good, man. Just fucking chillaxing on a Sunday. Almost, well, I guess it's Monday now, but still Sunday for us, right?
Till you fall. That's the way I've always seen it.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring
I
Chad
don't
up.
know. Yep, there we go. Fucking Chad Westport. What's up? I think Google has taken over the chats again. Well, I had seen the thing about the Google, messing around and chat delete comments again the other night. And ever since I've seen the comments about Google being in chat the other night, I haven't had to start up chat like I've been having to do. So I can't help but think they're just in the background now. They're the ones firing it up. So either way, as long as it gets going and I don't have to do it, I'm cool.
Yeah, we love you, Google. Don't shut us down. Uh, just because we know you're
It's funny
listening.
you say that because I always look. There's that screen name in the shout outs that's fuck Google and you, and I almost always either look up, but I try to flip the camera off every time I say that fuck Google and you. Just it's not my screen name, but I kind of relate. So I try to make it a little bit my own. Man.
You keep it up, and it's gonna be your internet's gonna start fucking up right at the same time. You're gonna start reading that name. It'll be like fuck, and it'll go out. Eagle will be done. They got you. It'll be
So a little funny
fuck
story
me, no
on
fuck you, Eagle.
fucking funny story about that is I was telling my neighbor the other day about this show and the fucking buckaboos that happen sometimes with the internet. And I said something about the power. I'm like, man, sometimes I think they even take out the power. And he's like, man, my power's been doing it too. And he's like, it must be trees or something. I'm like, all our lines are underground. All the lines are underground. I said, wouldn't it be some kind of fucked if they're trying to take me out, but then the only way to take out me is to pop off the whole grid for a minute.
That's getting
Like
deep.
if that's the I said, if that's the case, dude, I'm sorry. He's like, man, it always happens in the middle of the night. I'm like, I know when it happens. I'm on air.
That's funny shit. It's been a good one, man. What's going on, chat? Rolling joints. I can't type and roll. Let me get
It's a
Sam
new
in
one
here.
right there. What is that? Dirty or catfish? Is that what it is?
What are you talking about?
Name in chat right there.
Oh,
Dirty or catfish. Cheers. Welcome to the show.
got a busy week lined up, man.
Yeah, hopefully. I know I got some trimming to do. Got a lot of trimming to do.
Yeah, me too.
And with it being what? Shit, there's one day that it's gonna be almost 60 this week up here, so it's probably gonna be like 66 for you guys downstate. You guys are
Shit, like
usually like
85.
10 ahead, 85.
Yeah, I seen it was supposed to be at 50s, 60s for next couple weeks or so. Something. However far out they dare to venture, I guess.
This is the first time since I've lived up here that I've seen the ground this early in the season. It's dope.
That's cool.
So
So you got your worm bin started now, or what?
No, but I was actually fucking talking my neighbor into fucking. He was looking for projects that he was hit me up about questions on just grow in general, and we started talking about because he's got chickens, and I was telling him that he should be moving that coop more often, maybe fucking growing, you know, a season under them coops, moving it and then growing the garden under the coop. And he's got some. He's got what, 5 kids, 3 girls. Or wait, 4 girls. 4 girls, 1 boy. And they all like to help out around, with the chickens and all that good shit. They got chickens, dogs, all that good shit. And I was telling him, hey, you guys need to fucking get your worm bed going. Kids would probably love that shit. I mean, because they're all about, they love taking care of the chickens and all that shit. They'd be all about that. All about it.
Yeah, if he's doing a
So
garden, he could kill it with that, especially having the chickens. But I don't know. He at least composting it for sure.
that's what I told him. That's what I'm told. See, even though I'm not practicing, I'm still beating the drum.
I love it. Eagle. I love it. You're already sold, man. I know it ain't just a matter of time.
Little fucking punk the hash and throw in the fucking joint. I'm actually throwing all that in on a joint too. It's just like the crumbles. You know what I mean? Hey, you make bubble?
I have, yeah. It's been years, but I have made it before.
So this is right here is like after I make I pull the patty out and I fucking put out everything in the pressing screen there. I'll take a knife and I run it over the screen and get everything that's stuck to the screen off. And then I'll put the patty on, and right above the tray there, I'll just kind of like snap the cloth, the 25 screen over the tray, and get the little pieces off the 25 there. And I all them little pieces, I just scrape into a pile like festival style, little 45, little bit of this, little bit of that, and that's what as it's drying out real quick, I'm fucking smoking that shit as I'm making my bubble. But that's what I got there. That's what I'm smoking this dry.
Yeah.
Probably it's got to be a few grams there, probably a good 8 right there. If I throw it on this cannon, I'm gonna roll one of them cannons that I haven't smoked in a while. I've got some fucking smash cake that I just kind of fucking harvested. I'll line it with about an eighth of this fucking hash. Smoke me a fucking nice cigar hash joint in a minute.
What's up? You love smoking it all, man. I don't know. I should get better at that. I could probably save a lot of the stuff, like the scissor hash and stuff. I don't know. Anytime I've saved it, it's just never really. I don't know. It never really goes to anything. Smoke it once and then it sits off to the side. Weird.
Oh man, that's the best. You ever smoke a joint of just scissor hash? Because it dries up to nice little balls. You know what I mean? When you talk about like you let it sit around for a minute, it gets pretty dry. You can actually just make a joint out of that. Just smoke a fucking nice scissor hash joint. Oh man, it's so good. So good. So flavorful. What up, Red Pill? Yeah, can't. I got, well, I've got hash in 4 of 5 of my herbs now trays are full of fucking
Nice. So how that's you said you had quite a bit to run too, didn't you?
Yeah, actually, I'm still the last of the 3 of 5 gallon buckets of material. So I had 3 5 gallon buckets of material I had to run. just finishing up. Still got some work in there. But yeah, pulled out. Nice. Man, I couldn't even fit it all in there, Smiley. All that hash, I had to back off. I was like, man, that's too much. That's too much. It was there's a lot in there. There's a lot in there. It's more of a pinch there than I thought.
Do you have a favorite strain to wash, Eagle?
You know, um, that Primal Punch was really good. I like that. But I was really impressed. I had some dominatrix that I devoured, little nugs that I'd let sit around for a minute, and fucking that shit. I have never really got a super nice 160 pull. You know what I mean? Usually I save that shit for cooking edibles, shit like that. But man, this time, this last round that was, popcorn nugs of all that shit was, man, that 160 was, it honestly looks almost full melt. I'd almost say it's full melt. I haven't seen it yet, you know what I mean, as far as dry, but man, it pulled out, it was sticky and shit. And kind of sucks because the first pull, I wasn't expecting, like I said, most time I'm throwing away that 160 or I'm putting it up for edibles or something. So I'm not too in particular if something falls through. So I take my 220 bag and I'll like rinse it through and then I'll squeeze that motherfucker out really good. And I usually will take that ball out and throw it away and then pull the bag out. Sometimes when I pull the bag out, there might be a little bit of, sugar leaf or something on my hands that might fall into the 160. And that's what happened this time. I pulled out that ball and fucking went to go pull up the 160 and a nice quarter-sized ball of sugar leaf fell down in there. And I thought, what the fuck? There ain't even nothing been in that 160 all day long. And this was the first pull of that batch. And I pull that fucking 160 bag up, and it was a handful, the whole fucking handful of fucking shit in there. And it was greasy to the touch, man. The bottom of the bag was sticky. It was all in one big patty, but it had pieces of the sugar leaf in there. And I'm like, oh, fuck it. That hunk, I guess, is personal. I'll just work around the greed matter there. But it's definitely got some nice pulls out of there. I guess I could show you real quick, but
Well, if you care to, I'm sure everybody would like to see. How's Johnny doing, man? What's up, bro?
Doing good. What's up, Smiley? What's up?
Feeling loosening up?
Well, I was feeling really good yesterday, and did a few things around the house. Took my dog for a walk.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything heavy, but today I got up and man, I feel like shit today. My back is really stiff. It's really sore, and I slept most of the day today. Yeah.
Too much.
So,
there's some undried 90 pucks. As you can
there
see,
you go.
these aren't little baby patties. So there's some 90. And again, I'm still pulling. Got some little pile of 25 there, which is a nice little pile there.
Was
Nice.
that parchment you got it laying on, Eagle?
Yep.
Yeah.
And the
And
air
we got some
through the trays fine, or does it not need the slots in the trays?
No, it comes up through the center, and then there's it can come through the edges here, and then there's some slots through here.
Okay.
We got some 45 and some 73. And then we got some more 160. There's that 160. I'll show you right here. There's that fucking patty right there. I came up with the fucking trim in it. Oh man, look at that ugly thing. This was like the next one. So look at these ones. I mean, that's 160 and that shit's sticky as shit. You know what I mean? That's a good fucking pull for,
Yeah, it is.
So We got some 160 and some 73 here, and I got a nice little table behind me with some shit on it. I'm still pulling yet. So, like I said, pretty good run. Pretty good run.
I ordered my bags.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think I paid $45 for the set.
That ain't bad. What did you get, the 1 gallon or the 5 gallon?
The 5-gallon.
Nice.
Yeah.
Scoring deals, man.
Working them.
Yeah, shit, yeah, dude. We find
Yeah.
them.
And yeah, Eagle gave me the insight of where to look on that. So thanks, Eagle. Appreciate that, man. Got me in the right location, get the right stuff.
Yeah,
I'm excited about trying it out. The only thing is being where I'm at, I don't have the benefit of having the coolness around me.
I
you
should have
bring
went
the
outside
coolness,
today.
Downey. You don't got to
What's
worry
that?
about it. I said you bring the coolness. You don't got to worry about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, anyways,
It's okay.
right. I'm just, concerned. I'm going to have to set up a tent with that. It's going to have to be a zone, a cold zone. You know what I mean? The tent will be where I do the work.
Oh, you're saying for the hash?
Yeah. I was looking at Eagle's machine today, and he's got a installation going around the outside. I like that.
Do you got basements?
Yeah.
Do you got a basement though?
A basement?
Yeah. Do they do basements out there?
Oh no.
No.
No, they don't have basements.
I'm gonna say if you can get down beneath the ground, it would help you some too.
Yeah, there's a few mines around here, but I don't think they're supplied with
They're
electricity.
not gonna make your bow hash there.
Yeah, it'd be kind of hard to see in a dark hole, too.
Yeah, find somebody at the gas station and see if you can use their walk-in cooler after they close or some shit.
Hey,
We're gone
that's
by morning, I promise. We'll be gone by morning.
It can take more than 12 hours. Yeah, shoot. That's good.
Hey, and some hash coins.
Yeah,
So 160, you got a good pull on that, huh? That's nice.
That's the first time I've ever really got anything that I would call usable on 160 there. I definitely would say that's going to be some usable usable grade there. What's up, Naughty Nikki?
do you know what flower that was from, Eagle? Is that
I was just gonna ask that.
That's a bigger trike head then, right? When you catch it in that.
Oh yeah, that was the dominatrix from Empire Breeding Co. that unleashed that 160 there.
So
Was there a
was
mix?
under the to make it to even more valuable information there. That was under the LED run, which I believe made a big difference there as well, as far as trichome size and all that good shit.
Do you think
Huge difference.
the LEDs fattened up the trichomes on it as well?
Oh yeah, I've definitely noticed that. That same light's killing it right now. I guess I gotta get back. I gotta get to work here soon after I smoke on this fatty for a minute. But you want me to show you? Remember them girls that I fucking swazied the other night?
Yeah.
Remember
Yeah.
how pitiful they looked? You remember that shit? You want to see them today?
Dude.
I'll be taking down one of the earth boxes. Wow.
Hell yeah.
Uh-oh.
Hell yeah. Why only one? What's up with that?
Yeah. What's up with that? Why
Well,
one?
They're offset, brother. I don't. One yellowed out faster than the other. I don't know why. I can't tell you. I don't know why.
It just needs a
But
few more days or what?
It was the one that's kind of weird too, though. The one that needs to be pulled down is the bigger of the bush, a bigger bush, and a little bit smaller buds. Not that they're small, you know what I mean, but just in comparison to the plant next to it, its own sister there. The other one's got longer to go. It had bigger buds. It wasn't as bushier, but it had bigger buds, and that one needs to go a little bit longer. So one that had smaller buds but more of is not.
Yeah.
Trying to jump in here. Oh,
Hey,
maybe it's
Eagle.
the right screen. Yes, sir.
Sorry. No, I was gonna ask, how many buckets did you say you washed? Andy Man was asking in chat.
Oh, 3 5-gallon buckets of trim. Still washing. The machine's still full of flour. I got many runs to go still. On that.
So you're leaving it soaking in there?
Yeah, it's soaking right now. Some water and some ice. It's ready to be dumped and sifted. Actually, the buckets are ready to be sifted too. I'm actually letting them sit way longer than they should, but you know, what can you do? What can you do? You gotta take a break in 24 hours, sit down and smoke a joint, and hang out with the boys at some point.
There you go.
Normal people do, not Eagle Gardens. Normal people.
Now, hopefully, I can do this right without fucking it up, man. I fucked it all up the other day.
You had it there.
Here we
There
go.
you
I guess you can see.
got it there.
Fucking when I had Cannon Make on the other day, fucking I went to switch there. You know what I mean? And fucking ended the meeting.
Oh yeah.
I could see.
Yeah. Remember that.
What's going on, fellas?
What up, World's Last Hope?
Hey, World's Last Hope. How you doing?
Oh man, I'm exhausted. Ooh, long day. Real quick,
I'm feeling that too. It was a long day for me.
man. I just did that 2-day class. First day was 10 hours. Today was 8 hours. So yeah, it was a long class. But we covered a
Nice.
lot. We covered a lot. We had guys that were people that were just starting to try to grow, trying to set up for their first plant. We had vegetable farmers. We had guys from other countries. We had guys that are running 300 acres, 2 acres, 20 depths. No, it was a very, very, very good class. Very, very informative. Everybody fucking crushed the shit out of it. But we covered a lot.
What is that, Eagle?
That's dope, man. Yeah.
What
Eagle.
you got in that tent? There you go.
I can't highlight.
That's them.
That is huge.
That's the ones that we seen last week that I deleted super hard before I threw them in there.
Holy cow.
I'm laughing because
That
I
is
know exactly what you're looking at. You got a bazillion. Every leaf you strip, you got two to three of them fucking replaced it.
Man, that good old
That is crazy.
that good old Swazi tech. I love that shit, man. You go hard, you go ham as fuck, let him recover, and you're like 5 days later, you're like, so it doesn't even look like I did any damage. Holy fuck.
Yeah, that's amazing.
If they're really rocking, they pop back.
Are all those the same, Eagle?
Yeah, well, that's
You got a tall one in the back there.
I swazied these girls so hard because they were already so big, and I didn't want them to stretch any further. So I stretched them out with the Swazi tech to keep them from sweating to the roof. That's what we got.
Man,
I don't know if you
it's amazing.
heard about my little tip for the Swazi tech, but it looks like you already nailed it. You really want to let them after you when you swat. If you're is this the cocoa room or is this an organic soil room?
This is cocoa. That's
Cocoa,
St.
word.
there.
One thing that I've
Oh,
noticed is
yeah.
if you swazi them very, very hard, about like 4 to 5 days before flower, give them enough time to recover. but you want to let them dry out their first time. If you let them dry out and then double their food, man, they fucking slap, 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 slap.
Little peaky.
Oh, there we go.
Nice, man.
Ooh. Man. What are we looking at there?
Them are some of the earth boxes at the strangest old boxes.
Nice, man.
That's some sexy looking colas there, man.
Dude, isn't that
Yeah.
funny? Like how little work you have to do with that shit. So nice.
Them are cocoa buds there. Things right here.
I'm glad I was
These
I said hell yeah when you had your hand by it. I would have said hell yeah, and you'd have been like, them are the cocoa buds.
are- There you go. Quick look at the things. Well, I guess I can show you the bed. What's going on?
God damn, my shoulder's just killing me. Yeah, we going fucking water today. Actually, I just swazied these guys. These guys are actually just starting to rebuild.
You run them right
But now that-
tight too, don't you? World size hope. I remember seeing
What's up?
I remember seeing one of your videos. It seemed like you run them pretty skinny too. You do pretty much all the leaves.
Oh yeah, no, I go all ham. Anything that has a leaf bigger than that gets taken off. But again, you need to know when to do that. If you do it incorrectly, you will fuck shit up. That's something that you learn by trial and error for sure. You're like, no, you have to accompany for it. If you're gonna do it synthetically, this is how you do it. If you do it organically, this is how you do it.
What do you see
Nah,
as the
it's
benefit?
definitely a timing game.
What do you see as the benefit?
So the benefit from it is actually over leaves, like over leafing or leaving your leaves straight on your plant. Okay, well, again, that is your receptors for your plant to actually absorb. Okay, sorry, if I sound dumb, I have been talking for 2 days straight for a long fucking time. So I am very, very mentally exhausted.
Yeah.
But when you swazi, so you're letting the plant sit so it can actually make as much foliage as it possibly can. Okay, so this is like if a goat came out of nowhere and started eating the plant and ate the whole fucking plant. Well, it's a weed. It's going to try to do anything it can to try to like repair itself and do anything it can to just keep going. So if you can time it correctly, you go, okay, so I'm going to let it grow as well as it does from start. The second you start transplanting them, keep letting them go. When you're like, okay, I'm going to start flipping these into flower. About 4 to 5 days before flower, I like to take every motherfucking shit off. So you take all the fan leaves, the small leaves, dude, you strip them pretty well bare. They go, oh my God. But they're used to having the energy from having so many leaves. So they actually go, okay, we still got a little bit of energy. And then they stunt for a second. They go, what the fuck? But within 3 days, they go, okay, well, we're a weed. We're going to start building back. We're going to keep going, So they actually start building themselves back. As they're in that swing, you flip them into flower. They keep going. But you've already thinned them, middled them, bottomed them. So literally everything that's growing out is brand new growth that is going to be flowers. But it's a whole lot easier to thin a 18-inch plant than a 6-foot plant. It takes you a whole lot less time. So you're literally just doing all your thinning and tailoring to just make all the flower sites before you actually go into flower. But you let the plant respond and recover, and then it just builds from flower sites. There's no week 3, you take the bottoms, middles, and skirting. It's already done. It's only building from node sides. Week 3, you go through the top of the canopy and to actually take leaves to expose node sides. We're not growing leaves, we're growing fucking weed. Like it's all about the flowers, not about the leaves. So if you grow outdoors, if you have a very, very bushy indica plant, giant cola, you harvest that cola, anything that has not been touched by the light is lime green. It's not going to make a bag. So indoors, if you can take, so the gavitas throw like 6 to 8 feet. So if you can actually expose the nodes from your plant so the light sees it, that bud will end up being either a half a gram to a gram and a half on the bottom of the plant. But they don't need fan leaves to actually do their job. The sugar leaves do more than the fan leaves, but you want the fan leaves at certain times. That's again like the timing aspect. Week 3, after they're done stretching, they go, okay, I'm a baby. I'm in vegetative state. I'm going to go into flower. Okay, I'm going to turn into a teenager. Well, if you break a teenager's arm and fucking right as it's trying to grow and going through its growth spurt, it might not grow back correctly. It might stun it. It might fuck it up. It might hurt the development of it. But if you have a child that you're like, okay, well, damn, dude, you just got in a car accident. By the time they're a teenager, they're already they have way better receptors to actually heal themselves. Because again, like you're not fixing plants in flower. You have to have good plants in flower, or you're not going to make up for what's lacking. But you're trying to take a child that actually like pretty well almost got in a car accident, but it came back, and now it's like, dude, I'm Spider-Man. I don't feel pain. I am strong as fuck. I come back hard. I have extra shit that I'm now going to overdrive on. So again, 4 days before flower, 5 days, I like to thin them really hard. Let them dry out. Second you feed them, you double up the food. So they go, oh, so we're kind of getting ready for flower. And then they get excited, start building all their foliage back and everything else. Dude, again, week 3, you wouldn't notice. Look through my page. I've been doing Swazi Tech for about 5 years, actually. I've done it outdoors, light depths, indoors. Guess what? It's all about when you do it and how you do it properly. But at the same time, dude, I get fucking 3-4 foot colas indoors. So it works. You just got to know when to do it correctly.
Yeah, you definitely get long colas like that from it.
Well, I mean, even on the 4x4 with the Orange Dreams was like 1.75 pounds.
Yeah. The other thing
and it got watered 6 times in its whole entire life.
I mean, the real thing too is like if you do have a bush of a plant and you start pulling the leaves, you'll notice the branches kind of come together and give you a little bit smaller of a footprint.
Well, at the same time, I'm trying to make as many nodes as I possibly can. I'm trying to train the plant for bud sites, not leaf development. So if I can scrog it, throw it sideways, take the energy instead of topping it, pinching it, super cropping it, and just take the momentum and push it sideways, when it hits that net, it actually naturally super crops itself. So it actually buffins itself up and goes, what the fuck, man? Like I'm fighting against something. So it actually does push-ups against that shit, defends itself up as if you super cropped it, but it doesn't, you don't slow down the growth pattern. You just take the growth rate and push it sideways.
You're talking about throwing the screen over it? Is that what you're talking about? Not like a scrog?
Yeah, scrog, screen to green, for sure. Those are definitely needing a little bit of nitrogen, and that's potassium, not magnesium, for sure. But no, I'm stoked on the class. Class went very, very good. Anybody wanting to take my class, again, this class was about 17, 18 hours, 2 days. So, and you make like anywhere between 10 to 15 inputs. So you make your entire own nutrient lineup, but we go through a ton of other shit. But no, it's a full on 2-day class. So if anybody wants to be involved in that, DM me on Instagram. But it's going to be August 3rd and 4th next month.
Do it.
We lose.
No, actually,
oh, did we lose? Oh, did we? Oh, it was just a camera. On my screen, we're only down to 3. What's up with that?
I see his flowers.
Oh, I see 4. I see Smiley and you and Johnny.
Johnny's got them swazied right down too.
There you go. Yeah, those look
Is
great.
that-
Again, like
Is that Swazi?
Ninja chop.
yeah. Well, again, like there's not a whole lot of leaves left. They still have enough to process, but they're lots of light penetration. Your last few weeks, you're using your cold bottles to try to induce cytokines.
Yes. Yes.
Nice. There you go. Yo,
That's
bro.
kinda-
Back in the old days, like guys that didn't grow, they're like, Yeah, bro, you fucking take purple Kool-Aid and feed it to your plants for a few weeks and it'll turn them purple.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's great.
fucking lucky.
You mean you're growing in November or December with snow outside? Yep, that's what's doing it.
You can nutrient
funny.
lock them too and do it.
No, those are looking good, bro. You're gonna be very happy with your harvest. Those looking great. Nice big old dongers. What, you're like week 7, almost 8?
They're all different.
See, that guy
Yeah.
looks like week 8. That guy behind it looks week 6. The guy on the right looks week 5. No, yeah, definitely. Yeah, they're progressing a little bit differently. They're all in soil, correct?
Oh yeah.
It's like is it a soil cocoa blend or is it just straight soil?
Yeah, soil cocoa band.
Or I can just tell from the look of your medium. But no, dude, yeah, you're crushing it, looking great.
I'm happy with it so far. I'm already like Smiley says, I'm planning my next run.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, you have what, 3 rooms right now?
I have 3 different locations that I'm going with. I have a room off in my bedroom. I have this one here that's just veg and flower, and then I have an isolation tent.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Hell yeah, man. So you got pretty well 2 flower rooms and a veg room.
Yeah.
Nice, man.
Pretty
Hell
much.
yeah. Yeah, actually, I just picked up. Actually, it's funny as Mars Hydro actually hit me up and wanted me to run some of their gear because they're actually having new lights and shit. So they actually sent me like a 4x4 tent and one of their new LEDs. So I'm gonna give.
Careful.
I'm gonna give that a
They're
run.
very privileged. They never hand them out, man.
Well,
yeah, they never
guess
talk
what?
to anybody.
I had to fucking pull teeth. They hit me up. Oh, we'd love it if you run our gear. Like, what, we want to send you some stuff. I'm like, all right, like I already run like four flower rooms and a veg room. So yeah, like if you want me to test your lights, like I can totally, like if you want to send me 4 of them, like I've got a room I could probably replace it with and see how it does versus what I normally yield. Well, we can't donate 4 of them, but if you run 1 and we have good reviews, we can send you more. Okay, that's fine. So what do you want me to test? Well, we've got a few new lights coming out. We want you to test our highest model, or our mid-grade model. Well, so I run this spectrum, this spectrum, this spectrum, and this spectrum, and I'm running this company, this company, this company. Do you think that can match? Well, we might kick you up to our like best model and see what you think about that. Okay, dude, that's fine. Hey, can you post 2 times a week? Like your garden 2 times a week? Dude, look through my page. I'm not posting one garden twice a week. No, sorry. Like it's like that's fine. You guys can like it just seems like it's too much hassle. Like it's all right. You guys can go ahead and keep your product. I'm not gonna dedicate my page to your product. No. That's fine. I'm like, so when can you post? Well, I'll post. I post a bunch of different rooms and I post plant pictures and I'll post it versus lights. If I like what they see, I'll post it and I'll bring you business. Okay, well, can you sign a non-disclosure agreement? What are you talking about? It's going to say that you got the light, you got the equipment, and says that you will post this many times within this amount of period. I'm like, dude, this is way too much. No, sorry. Like, dude, go ahead and keep your product. Like, I have a $1,200 LED. They gave me and said, post when you can. They didn't say, no, we need you to sign shit. We don't need you to give it back. We don't. No. If that's the case, keep it. Like, I'm fine. That's fine. It's fine. No. We'll take care of that. That's fine. We'll just can you just please grow our product? I guess I can make room if you want to send me something. So we only have a 3x3 tent available instead of the 4x4. So you okay with 3x3? Dude, my footprints are 8x8, 10x10, 6x8, and 12x6. No, I'm not gonna run a 3x3. Sorry, dude. Just keep your product. Give it to somebody that can actually use it. No. We'll get you a 4x4. We'll get you a 4x4. We'll get you the best light period. Just post when you can, please. Cool. I'll set it up. Well, if it runs good, we'll post it. If not, like I'm gonna post pictures and give you my honest review. Like I run a lot of lighting companies, and if you're up to par, you're up to par. If not, I'm gonna give you an honest review. But I'm at the same time, if you send me something dude, it's not. You're gonna try it and give it back for 2 months. You're gonna try it for a run and then give it back. No, you want me to promote your product. I'm going to run it, give you an honest review. It's going to bring you business. So you're donating the product, but that's also a tax write-off. So it's not a big deal. But no, like at the same time, like if this is too much, I've got plenty of other companies that want to do business. This seems like a lot for something very like, I'm kind of like, all right, whatever with. So if you want to make this work, I can make it work. If not, dude, that's fine. Give it to somebody else. Let them run it. But I can't donate my entire page to it. Sorry. But I'll run it and tell you how it does. And if I like it, I'll bring you customers. That's how it works. You know, if you got a good product, I have no problem promoting good products. But when it comes to products for me, it's not grow shit. It's not nutrients. So it's not nutrients. It's either soil or lighting because I have everything else I need. So like, if you want to invest in lighting, let's do it. And I'll give you an honest review. But at the same time, like, dude, I don't want to go through a bunch of hoops. I'll just buy lights. That's easier. Like, whatever. I've got no problem dropping a grand on fucking lights, you know, or 10 grand on fucking 10 lights or whatever. But no, if you want me to try your product and that gets into my garden, dude, I'll invest it. If it fucking kicks ass, dude, I'll invest all my shit in your shit, you know, but it has to be up to standard.
Right. No doubt, man. Thanks for the advertisement for him.
Exactly, dude. Just the advertising again. Like, well, I've got about 15,000 people on my IG, so at least, like, dude, if I start posting on it,
turned
dude, a
them
lot of
down
people are
because
gonna
I
see
didn't
it.
want to do it, but
But again, no, I'm like, I guess I'll use this for fucking popping seeds, or actually, what I'll probably end up doing is I'll give it one good review and a test run. If I like it, they'll send me more, and then I can
some
have
sneaky bastards,
a full room of
infiltrators.
them, or I'll either run more of them and run a full room and compare it versus what I have for my CMHs and my other LEDs and my Gavitas and everything else. If I don't like them, dude, guess what? That's going to get fucking given to a friend. Like, I don't need it, but I'll run it. And if it's good, dude, I'll run it. But if it's not, dude, I will help friends that need and are trying to get into the grow industry, you know?
All right, that's enough about Mars.
Dude, definitely. Holy fuck.
Yeah, that's plenty enough about that. That was an excellent review for him. Nice.
Be excited for.
Man, I can't wait for that. These Ford Jeffersons to come through. Man, looking pretty good.
How did the how did the Jilly Bean give out go? I'm starting to see flower pictures.
Yeah, it's doing good, man. A lot of people got some nice phenos out of it there. Monster buds. A lot of people did real well.
Nice.
I was just showing mine there a minute ago. Took off there. Pretty good.
Nice, man.
6 footer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, under 6 footer under the Mars LED, Mars TS W2000 there, kind of crushed it. I just couldn't do it no more with the Mars, so I had to put them in the background. So.
Again, I've got the Galaxy Hydra. That pink room I got is Galaxy Hydras. I got 7 of them for $125. That's extra. Like, oh, I've got extra lights. Fucking might as well put something together. It's not anything serious, period. But that light spectrum, if you go from T5s and make them stack, and then you go to the those that make them stretch out, they make good moms. Makes nice, really nice cuts.
I'm gonna need a shirt or nipple stickers. Your choice. Pasties or a shirt, your choice, Chief. YouTube censors are a bitch.
Oh, son of a bitch. Like, no, that dude's got tits.
That's funny. So what else is going on in everybody else's garden?
Oh, god damn it.
The chili bean into flowers for about 7 all 6 days in or so. 7
Did
days.
you get some cuts of that the tri-leg one there? A tri-branch?
I have some, yes.
Did you?
Yep.
I'm serious about would like to smack that Fort Jefferson with that with the jelly there, just for funsies.
Yeah.
What's in that?
Well, the Fort Jefferson, I believe I got to get my book. To be honest with you, I don't have it in front of me, and I don't memorize that shit.
Basically, world's last hope. It's a male that's throwing three branches.
A trifoliate?
Yeah, and then I got a Canadian that was doing that too. So we're gonna hit the two together.
Do you know if the trifoliate passed to the clone stage?
I don't think it did.
It's
Let's see.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. It's fine.
I said I don't think it did on the chili.
Okay. Yeah, that's so the trifoliates are a basic mutation, but they end up seeming to grow out of it. If you can actually have the arms of the plant, like instead of the main stalk, the arms, throw trifoliates, and then you clone it, and then it still throws trifoliates, that's fucking something special.
That's what the
But
male.
most of the time,
That's what I got in the mail.
most of the time it seems like it tries to grow out of it though.
Yeah,
So
chili.
far, that's what I've got. It's Tropic Sunrise times Alcatraz OG, and all the
Nice.
lower branching. So all the lower branching, it's to the point where their little branches are starting to pop off of them. So all the lowers, as they're coming up, show the tribe branching as they come up and are starting to, branch out. So I
Interesting.
believe it will go through the clone and keep that phase.
Yeah, if that keeps it, dude, that's something special for sure, definitely.
It's funny because when I seen it and I noticed it was a male, something told me to keep it, and it just felt there was something that felt special about it. I don't know. I know that probably sounds stupid.
Oh yeah. No,
It caught
100%,
my
dude.
eye.
Like, dude,
It spoke
sometimes
to you.
like, well, again, like, dude, if anybody has Triangle Kush, you have a room of fucking 50 plants, I could probably look in the room and be like, that's it. No, it speaks to you. Like, if you know that plant, you know it up and down, and there's just, dude, it's almost like having a dog. Like, you get that kind of bond. Well, at the same time, when you grow a strain, you're with that shit for fucking at least 10 weeks. So you get to know it. It's like having kids in a kindergarten class. Eventually you get to know all the kids. But no, the male, if that male passes that trait, that is awesome. That'd be a very, very cool thing to actually like. Dude, if that transfers trifoliate in the offspring, and then the offspring actually keeps consistently growing trifoliates on the actual arms, and then it passes to the clones, and then you get clones that actually throw trifoliates and keeps that stable trifoliate wise. Oh man, that's gonna be a grower's dream. Instead of 2s, you get 3s, so you get 6 brackets per fucking. Yeah, dude, holy shit, yeah.
So I had that with a warlock one time, but as you're talking about it, I
Hey,
only
Rico.
grew it. What's up? I grew it and flowered it as it being a seedling, and I never took clones of it. So that's a good point to make if that's something that, another experience I have with that, not a trifoliate, but the leaf sets that go above 9 that make 11, 13, 15, and then even double overlap right in the middle and have another 3-bladed leaf on top of a 15-bladed fan leaf.
Definitely.
But it didn't ever pass that in the clones. You take clones of it, and then it never goes above 9 leaves.
Definitely hear that. I did some strawberry. What was it? Strawberry Las Vegas Bubba Kush when they were throwing out testers. I grew, I think, 20 different phenos, and the lowest leaf set on all those plants was 13.
Yep.
They went all the way up to like 28. It was actually 3-road.
Wow.
It was hella crazy. I
Yeah.
was like, huh, holy shit, I've never, ever, ever come to that. But I've also grown certain strains that I was like, dude, I've had this strain for 5 years. I know exactly what it does. Gave it a little bit different food or a different climate, and then all of a sudden that's when you start getting the fucking buds on your fan leaves. And these were not even like little teeny tiny nuts. These were like fucking 1.5 grams nuts on the palms of your fan leaves. And I've already, again, never did that for like 5 years. So I'm like, I need to dig into actually what I'm feeding more to figure out how that's actually happening. I don't know if the plant
I'm getting that
maybe
on one of my strains right now.
I'm almost thinking in my head, I'm like, so what makes that kind of growth happen? Well, normally when the plant's kind of confused, right? So it almost might be like it's not even their light cycle. It's almost like some kind of hormone in the plant was naturally pushing it to almost maybe revert, but it put it into a weird spot. And then went into flower, and then just instead of making a node, it made an actual flower.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just an idea that I have. But again, I would love to know if anybody knows how the fuck to consistently make buds on your fan leaves. I am all ears, because, dude, that's just something you're like, dude, that's an extra fucking. You might actually have an extra 200 grams of fucking buds on fucking fan leaves for hash, you know?
You'd have to stop cutting them all
Like,
off.
No more swaze.
Yeah, no more swaze and the shit out of that.
On there, how the fuck you know
Well,
if it's ever gonna grow or not?
well, again, whenever that happens, it actually does not do it on all the fan leaves. As you see, it's mainly the top 2 brackets. You can most of the time leave those, and actually by the time you go into flower, they make new brackets for the actual plant. So it actually, the Swazi don't really affect it, but more fan leaves, it does what it does. But again, my style, whatever.
No.
I've done, yeah. I'm not gonna run back around, but no, definitely like.
To have a fucking nugget.
I feel like if I leave them, they get a little bit overcrowded, and they start trying to put energy into shit that's not gonna make anything, or like lowers and garbage. So when you take that off, it's like, oh, dude, now I've got all this. Oh, I forgot a fucking sprained ankle. Well, now you don't have a fucking sprained ankle type shit. It just kind of holds it back and takes the momentum from the plant that you take off that it no longer needs, and then redisperses the energy up top. But again, that's stoner logic. So stoner logic.
Plantonomics.
Yeah, I always kind of saw that as a hormonal shift with plant. As it was going through its critical points of influence, you were trying to really hit that timing that you were talking about to shift the hormone to a more cytokine dominant versus a auxin dominant. And then the cytokinins kind of like looked at as the more feminine growth portion of it. So it's going to be more of your bud sets and actual.
Well, with the cytokine and anakin debate, it actually all depends on your stretch of your plant. Your cytokines help the plant stack. Your anakins help them shoot. So if you're using anything like alfalfa seed sprout, barley seed sprout, and aloe, those mainly help the plant shoot. But actually, aloe is so great because it has such a wide spectrum of micro and macronutrients that it actually has a full spectrum. It's tagged kind of all your bases, but it has a ton of enzymes. It's got bromelain, broccoli, it's got like over 20 different amino acids and enzymes. But the same thing, if you're using cytokines, you want to use like coconut kelp and like seed sprout teas for corn, because that helps your plant stack. So if you have like GMO, you want it to stack, or it still puts on good weight if you make it stretch, and it still will throw nice colas. But if you're like, dude, this thing is getting out of hand, you can slow the growth rate down so the nodes aren't going pop, pop, pop. It'll go pop, 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 pop. Just different enzymes.
It's funny. My grandson says "bop bop." The things he says now.
That's
you have a fucking
cool.
grandson, Smiley?
Yeah.
Holy shit, you old piece of shit. You're like, what, 20,
No, I gotta be a piece of shit, man.
20, 21, 22?
Come on, man.
No.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome, dude. Like, dude, Yeah, dude, kids and grandkids are fucking amazing. Actually, it's funny as my daughters just came back from grandma's house because I taught that class, but the grandkids between me and my brothers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they have a blast.
Hmm.
That's fun.
No, they have so much fun when they get all together.
What's going on, Red Pill? Do you grow outdoors, Red Pill? Is that what I remember, or did I miss?
I have grown outdoors, yeah.
Okay. You
Not
don't-
since 2013 was the last time.
I got one outside right now.
right now,
I-
Yeah,
like in veg, or are you like?
in flower. I stuck it out a couple days back.
So the light schedule's enough to get it kicking off.
It's already in flower,
Oh, gotcha.
and I just it's in the 50s at night now, so I'm not even worried about it. So I threw that shit out there so that they get used to it, and so it's been out there for a few nights. I went out there and checked it. It was a little dusty because obviously, it's in the desert. So I'm not expecting to get any kind of really killer smoke out of it because it'll be dirty. How do you clean a bud after,
You can wash those.
Oh, there's a whole
Water.
that's a whole nother thing that now I have to think about,
You ever
as
seen
far as
the?
that goes, because there's
Has
a lot
anyone
of
else
dust
ever
flowing.
seen the technique where you do like lemon water, then cold water, then baking soda water, then hot water, then repeat the cycle?
Yeah, I don't do it that way.
So just for anybody that washes your buds,
Yeah.
if you have powdery mildew problems and you like to dunk your shit, if you use green clean, plant therapy, any of those things, guess what? They all have essential oils in them. It's going to stick to your glands and you're going to taste it. If you use any kind of soaps, you will taste it in the flower. If you use hydrogen peroxide or rubbing alcohol, it will dry your glands out. So your hash will not be melty. It actually burns off the exostentic layer of your glands and burns off the oils. So you have dry glands. Best thing to get rid of anything. If you got powdery mildew,
Well, we're
Fuck
talking.
powdery
don't fucking
mildew. I
do
wanted to
anything.
know about
Put
the
it all
dirt.
aside. Guess how many? Guess
He's talking about
dirt again. So if you have powdery mildew, put it aside. Don't treat it. Most extract artists can actually like separate it and clean it. So if you do other things to it, you're just degrading your hash. If you have dust and dirt, water, just water, rain, or just take a actual bucket, dip them in the bucket of water, give them a nice little gistle. But no, again, how do you wash hash? Sub-zero temperatures, it actually breaks the glands off. So you get cold, like not cold water, but like Lukish warm water. So it doesn't have that point where it actually gets so cold the glands break off, but it actually washes the plant. Because again, your plant can sit in the rain for a week, no problem. The rain's not fucking warm, and there's no glands that come off that plant. But dude, water. Don't use hydrogen peroxide. Don't use alcohol. It's going to actually make your hash like shit. If you have powdery mildew, don't try to treat it. Cut that shit off, separate it, and tell the fucking extract artist.
Can you wash the bud like that and then dry it normally and smoke it like
100%?
flower?
So it's like if you harvested in the rain.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know anything about that shit. I live in the desert.
Ain't gonna hurt it.
Well,
yeah.
that's
Just
only gonna
literally
make
dip
it easier
Well,
for you.
so you want to put it in there.
That is pretty easy.
Give it a hard shake, not like a so it actually like breaks it apart a little bit and vibrates it, but it'll all come out. Dude, after 4 or 5 buds, you're gonna be like, this shit is dirty. But all the dirt goes in the actual fucking bucket.
What was that?
Some of it sticks to the bud, but it's way cleaner than what it was.
Yeah, you're not trying to get in there and get real rough with it. It's just a gentle rinse, and you're just not really. I'm not going to demonstrate the stroke to you, but
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, nice and slow. You're just trying to get it a nice even rinse, but it doesn't hurt it at all. You hang it, and you have your dehumidifier going. It's going to be dry within.
Yeah, again, it's like harvesting in the rain. The glands are mainly going to stick off, but the glands are also going to separate and sit. You could totally run that as bubble hash if you want to, because you're going to rinse it and it's going to sink and do everything else, so you can actually catch your glands. And then when you actually spray your product, you're actually when you actually rinse your product, when it's in the bags, when you actually like are, oh, okay, we're going to pull our bags out, you spray the shit out of them and you try to turn your product over, because any leftover dirt will actually push through the screen and actually not be on the glands. But a lot of extract artists will actually pick that shit up. So I mean, even if you can just pour out most of it, take the little dirt clod, dry that shit out, put it in a bag, dude, there's a lot of people out there. It's pretty crazy. It's
another
very
thing
crazy.
too, and to keep in mind is there's a lot worse things that can be stuck to those buds than dirt.
Dude,
Yes.
especially if they fucking are treating for the fire and you start getting overspray from the fucking that pink, you know what I'm talking about? Oh my God, I've seen a few crops that were like painted.
Like,
You can't do anything with it. It doesn't wash out.
No,
Like
but
it's soot?
Johnny, your dust though, that would absolutely wash those buds, and I wouldn't think
I got so much information out of that dust question.
I would absolutely
Man,
do that. Rinse them, and you'll be surprised how much fucking dirt is in the bottom of that, and you'll be like, holy shit.
But again, try not to use any soap solution, anything with oil, any kind of
I had
actual like
no intentions of using anything of that nature.
water. Even if you use a citric acid gets
Mhm.
super low pH, so it actually like it washes everything. But again, you use that mainly for fruit. Fruit don't have THC, so you're actually starting to degrade the oils on your glands. So be careful. Again, I feel water.
Okay.
So calcium needs.
So Red Pill, let's finish our conversation about the tinctures.
RSO? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the tinctures. Okay.
Yeah, tinctures and RSO stuff. That was good conversation. I was enjoying the heck out of that the other day.
Well, I think we left off at pretty much, I think I explained the actual extraction technique with keeping everything cold, the amount of alcohol to use if we want to grind or keep the whole flowers, and that changes the amount of time that you're going to have it sitting in that solution of alcohol.
Yeah, I think I would probably end up grinding it, or at least breaking it down a good portion of the way.
Well, that works too, because then it happens faster, the whole process. You don't have to wait as long. But yeah,
how long does it normally take? You said 24 to 48 hours or something?
1 to 12 hours, depending on how
1
much.
to 12 hours.
Yeah. If you have like grounded up, weed that's like flour, then it's not going to take long to extract with.
Okay.
Whole
And then
nugs,
at the same
nugs
time, I
can
could
be-
take all my other jars and clean those babies out with it, right?
Yeah, you could, sure. Yeah, you could. That's what I mean. You can use alcohol to the point to where it's saturated, where you use so much of the alcohol, or you dissolve so much THC and other, everything else that comes with the with what it's pulling off with its solubility. You get to a point where it's saturated, and then it doesn't work as a solvent anymore. So that's actually, if you do want to get it to a tincture, that's when people make the argument, if you're going to evaporate off all the alcohol, if that's what you're using, or evaporate off all the alcohol and use to measure the moon. So you can evaporate all the alcohol and say you're left over with 10 grams of oil. You can dilute that or dissolve that back into like 40 milligram or milliliters of alcohol. And that helps you dose and know how much you have in 1 milligram. Right. So if at that point,
so by doing that, you're actually
measuring it. Yeah.
Okay.
You'll know how much, you can do it down to 1 drop even, or 1 ml, so if you did do that, then if 40 grams has, or 40 milliliters has 10 grams, and let's just say you could have anywhere from 600 milligrams of THC into 1 gram of RSO, or it could be as high as like 85, So just say there's 750 milligrams in 1 gram of THC and 1 gram of RSO. Okay, so then you're diluting that or dissolving that into 40 milliliters of alcohol. So now you have 7,500 milliliters in 40 ml or milliliters of alcohol. So then you just divide from there. So if you're using 1 milliliter, it's a 40th. It's 7,500 divided by 40 equals how much THC is going to be in that 1 ml of solution.
Actually, that's actually how I reverse engineer my CalMag.
Mm-hmm. I could write this down for you too in like a message. If you want
Okay.
to do that.
Yeah, because that was a little deep for me right there. I kind of fell out of the pool on that one.
Yeah, it gets a little number heavy on that, but that I'm just
we need to talk more. I was right there with you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because this works the same for dosing your edibles too, because everyone always figures
Yeah,
out how much they have in their stick of butter, but then they don't know what the portion is per cookie.
I
But it's
have
easy.
no idea what I have in my butter right now. That's one of the things that I'm kind of confused about as far as the edibles go and everything is portioning of it. So that's where I'm having my issues. What was that, Smiley?
Isn't it only going to hold a certain amount too? Like the butter's going to get saturated at a certain point?
I have no idea what that amount is. I'm guessing it could be like 10 grams of oil in a 1 stick of butter, which none of us would probably ever make in the first place.
So one thing that I found out with edibles if you're doing any kind of bud or trim, it's actually better to even if you don't have the equipment to do it, you can totally look into cold water hash. It actually just separates everything into just a liquid solution, so you can use just the hash, but it's got some dirt in it, but it's literally like micron 160 to anything that sinks. You can refine it and clean it a few times, but if you infuse that into butter, that will actually give you, again, that's a better way to actually milligram and dose out your edibles. But if you're doing butter with just herb, so you can have weed and it chills by itself, doesn't mold. Butter chills by itself, doesn't mold. When you mix them together, they end up molding. So if you're going to make butter, I really like to take my weed, mix it with the butter, put it in a crock pot, let it sit on low for a few hours, but you need to add a little tiny bit of water to it. The water is the binding agent. It takes actually the THC and bonds to the fat molecules of the oil molecules.
You wind up with a little, whatever's heavy, the fat and the butter sits on top and you can pull it right off the water.
Exactly. So actually what's really funny is whenever you do it in the crock pot and let it sit, you're decarbing it, but you're also trying to bind it to whatever you're doing it with. Whenever you're actually ready to start harvesting it, 30 minutes prior, you add 50-50 water to it. Let that sit for about a half an hour. Then that immediately goes in the freezer. You put it into a pan, it immediately goes in the freezer. Once that freezes, it actually separates. It actually has all of the THC and everything else, but it actually makes an ice brick. You break them apart, but the ice brick actually starts getting all the chlorophyll, the dirt, and everything else in it versus the brick of butter. You throw that back in the crock pot on low for another 30 minutes, add another 50-50 water to it, and then it separates it again. That's when you start getting that really, really blonde butter, but it doesn't have the chlorophyll in it. So the chlorophyll is actually what makes the butter mold. So most butter is only good, like if you use just straight weed, if you look at it under a scope, 4 to 7 days is going to start actually trying to mold because it's moist. But it actually has the plant material in it. That's the problem. So when you take the chlorophyll and plant material and dirt out of it, there's no carbon to make mycelium. So you get just the THC in the butter, but it actually makes it very, very blonde, and it makes it so there's no taste. Besides, whenever you eat a brownie, you're like, oh man, dude, I've made straight up tiramisu, infused tiramisu. The batter, the cake, the frosting, dude, whenever you eat that, you're like, oh my God, this is delicious and creamy. And then as soon as you stop eating it, you go, whew, that's got a bite on the end of it because it's strong and it's going to fuck you up. But your edibles also dissolve differently. So if you do chocolate, your chocolate dissolves and then goes into your stomach and breaks down easy. If you do tinctures, they go through your saliva glands. So they actually get you high immediately. Lollipops, all that other stuff. Brownies slowly break down in your belly. Cookies, if you infuse the chocolate chips and the cookies, the chocolate chips break down immediately. The cookies break down slowly. Rice Krispies hit you pretty quick and they last long. So it all depends on the edible you're actually doing, the metabolism of your body, because my metabolism's quick, my wife's is not. She has a little teeny tiny piece and it fucks her up. I need like a lot to do anything and I can still function. I still want to smoke. But no, she takes a little tiny bit. Her metabolism's slow, so it just hits her hard. Mine's quick, so it actually just goes through my system. I'm still high, but not hitting me like it hits her. But that's my when you're doing obviously when you're doing concentrates or hash, that's when you can actually milligram them out. I prefer using hash or concentrates because that way you can be like, well, so butter doesn't dispense equally into the treats. So some of them are killer and some of them might be duds. Fucking hash, you can dose individually. This is 35 milligrams. This is 50 milligrams. No, you can make them whatever strength you want and you know how potent they are. But again, when you're doing butter, you don't know because again, like doesn't matter. Actually, the milligrams don't even matter. It all depends on the strain and how it hits you. Dude, again, a 36% THC strain might not even get you high, but a 12% that has a little CBD in it might fuck you up. Well, depends on what your body gives you. So you need to know what strain it is, how it hits you, the dosage, but it's all trial and error, experimental. But that's just how I've done it. I haven't done anything, obviously, like vending weekly or anything like that. But again, like I've gone to shops and they're like, oh, these were made from butter. And I go in there, I go, turn that cookie over. They turn it over, the cookie's blue.
Ew.
Dude, okay, turn that brownie over. It's blue. Like, is this made from butter or hash? They're like, oh, it's made from butter. I'm like, okay, so it's been sitting over a week easily. Okay, what's this made? Oh, these ones are made from hash. Dude, they're blue too. So this has obviously been sitting a while. Like, come on, man. Like, once you freeze them, they increase the shelf life. But in general, hash is like 14 to 21 days unrefrigerated. Butter is like 7 days. You can have hash or butter itself, and you can have plant material itself separated. But once you actually add the plant material and the carbon, it actually makes a spot for mold to grow. So that's why you put it in there, separate it with water, freeze it, break the water off, put the butter back, separate it again. So you're trying to clean it like how you would with hash, in general. But that's just something that I learned over the years. But again, like, dude, so many people are crushing it in the fucking edible industry.
What are you smoking on, Johnny?
I'm smoking on some of my haze. Is what I'm smoking on right now.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I just packed a bowl of my mystery weed.
Mystery weed.
Yeah.
Is that how'd you come across the mystery weed? Was that something that just sprouted up out of the pot?
No. I wish it was that cool of a story. It's
I
just
got
weed.
one of those.
Yeah.
I got one of those going right now. I got a couple of them.
Oh,
it just popped up
somebody in
out of
chat was
nowhere.
saying, sorry.
What was
What
that?
happened?
Somebody in chat was saying I have butter in my fridge and never seen mold for months. As long as it's refrigerated, that gives it the shelf life. The freezing your edibles, once they're made, actually gives them the shelf life too. Once they're once they're actually up to room temperature, that's when the shelf life starts. It's like if you froze a steak and then let it thaw out and then put it on your counter. How long can you just let it sit there until you can eat it? But no, if you start looking under a scope, you'll start seeing it. That's what I think. It's like a 250 micron for the scope under. Yeah, but again, start looking at the middle, very very middle of the cookie, because that's where it most moisture content actually sits. If you're actually looking at it under scope.
I thought the blue made it.
Maybe, but that's also probably going to make you sit on the toilet for a while.
Maybe.
Sit on top or in front of the toilet, one or the other.
You, upper decker, bro. You fucking shit in the top, so when you flush, poop comes out. No, it's terrible.
Goes on mute. Still on mute, Eagle.
And I hate that shit. I was trying to tell you that I watched that link that you sent me about the mushrooms, man. There were some fucking cool ass mushrooms in there, man. Some translucent, some fucking blue mushrooms. Yeah. Okay, there's a lot of cool shit in there, man.
I forgot that guy's name, but that was a pretty interesting story he told too about just fucking. I don't know. He spent whatever portion of his career photographing fungi or whatever, and he worked with Paul Stamets on that running my.
How cool is that?
Whatever that movie was they made, Fantastic Fungi, maybe it was. That was the name.
Nice.
Yeah, that came on right after I watched that thing. I watched about half of the Fantastic Fungi. I didn't even realize it just kind of ran in there like that. And I gotta say one other thing about that link there, man. That motherfucker was a trooper, man. You see him standing there and like the flies and not even like acting like it was a thing, man. He's just sitting there carrying on that, just like didn't even let it hit. I'm like, he's like flies all around him because he's in the fucking forest and shit. I couldn't have done it, man. I would have been swatting at them bitches, man. They're like landing on his face. And he didn't even like break conversation or nothing. He's just like, the mushrooms are beautiful, and fucking he was swarmed. I'm like, how is he doing this, man? How in the fuck is he maintaining his composure through this shit?
Mind over matter.
When they start getting here and he starts talking, you're like,
Lord of the Flies.
yeah, no. So, anyways, another one to look up is What Plants Talk About. It's another very good documentary.
Yes, I believe I've seen that one.
But this guy he photographs like crazy ass fucking mushrooms. They're pretty wild.
Nice. Dude, that's awesome. I love
mushrooms
all
that had never been studied before. So like biologists and stuff started taking note of his videos because it was showing he was doing time lapse showing the whole lifespan of the mushroom, from its fruiting or where it starts or whatever. I don't know how he was doing it, but it was cool as fuck watching him time lapse of all these different wild mushrooms growing. And yeah, there were different species. He found fucking glow in the dark ones and crazy.
Yeah, I've seen that. The first time I seen that's in a video game, and I was looking at like, that shit doesn't exist in real life. But no, there's glow in the dark mushrooms.
Dude, they were right in his backyard when he was telling the story. He's in Australia, and whatever forest he's up against or whatever, but he'd read something about it and he's like, I wonder if I got them in my backyard, and he fucking went back in by the wood line and found them and shit. That's where he found them.
That's awesome. That documentary, the What Plants Talk About, does actually the same thing, but they do it actually with hormones with trees. They actually go to the redwood forest, spray a tree with a hormone that they can visibly see with like a gun, like with UV radar, or I don't remember what kind of gun they used to actually visibly see what they're like. Oh, we sprayed it. We came back in 2 days and we can see it in our chart,
it's a radioactive,
in our like gun, almost like UV or something. I don't remember what it was, but the test was to see if a tree that had a sapling, if the tree helped support the nutrients to help the sapling thrive. And they came back in 3 weeks and they saw that the nutrients they sprayed on the mother plant actually transferred through the mycelial layer in the forest and uptaked it in the seedling to help it process and go through stress and everything else. But no, they definitely help their younglings through the mycelial colony in the forest floor. Again, if I start rambling, let me know. I've been talking for like 17 fucking hours straight. So I've been just literally teaching. So if I start rambling, let me know. Sorry.
What kept you going? The coffee?
A 2-day class. One was a 10-hour class. One was a 8 hour class.
How'd you prepare for that though? Or are you just so used to it? It
Well,
was nothing?
I've been teaching for like 4 years or so. I've taught. I normally go. I do consultations where I go to your garden and then I teach a full class and then I help you up your garden, teach you how to use it. Since all the COVID stuff happened, but I've actually, dude, I've taught classes of like 30 to 70 people multiple times.
Okay,
Class
so
I
you're
just
used
taught
to
the last 2 days were I had like 37 people in it, but that was the first class that I've done over Zoom. But I teach you how to make all your I pretty much teach you, I teach you how to make an entire nutrient line. But dude, we cover everything from low scale, big scale, irrigation, soil, beds, pots, irrigation, how to plant, how to space, organics versus synthetics, greenhouses, indoor, outdoor. No, it's a giant organic, big scale, long scale covering, plus modern natural farming, which I have I have tailored, but I also cover Korean natural farming, Jadam farming, organic gardening, cloning. No, it's again 17 hours of information was the first class.
That's about
But
how long you imagine it would take to cover all that. You know, I
but
can't
it's
do that in an hour.
well, that's not even the full class. But that was guys that came from, oh, I'm gonna start growing. Dude, I grow vegetables. Dude, I grow a 4x4. Dude, I grow multiple rooms indoors. Dude, I grow 10 light depths that are 5x30. I grow 300 acres outdoors. I grow 2 acres recreational. I grow nothing but light. We had a giant spectrum of people, so we actually got to cover a bunch of different nice things. We went over soil testing, testing for your plant, what to look out for, how to tailor your strains, how to tailor your feeds, what to feed, when to feed, how the plant processes them, what to uptake, what they uptake, when they uptake it, when they cut off certain nutrients, what they need abundance. Dude, again, it was a 17-hour class.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of talking. So if I'm already rambling. I'm just used to talking, so I'm just gonna stop. Sorry. Sorry,
That's
guys.
good.
Check my page. There's a lot of information. I'm actually gonna have another class.
That's what's up.
Did Johnny bounce or did he just turn off his camera?
I don't know.
Can't tell.
He turned off his camera. I still see his box. He's still in the room.
I think I clicked hide participants on my end, and I can't see it when you turn your camera off. You're like gone.
Oh, he's
Yeah, I
I'll
turned off
fix
my
it.
camera. I went and did a couple of things real quick.
You had to watch chat.
Yeah, I can't see chat.
No.
Yeah, I can't see chat. I don't know how, I think I have to step out or something or forget how to do that. You showed me how to do that one time, Eagle. I can't remember how to do it.
Oh, you just minimize your the Zoom and bring up the YouTube. It'll still show you the Zoom will continue. It'll still show you. You just won't see the Zoom. You'll see the chat.
Oh,
You
okay.
just won't see us. You'll see the chat. You just won't see us. Everything will work the same. You just don't see us.
Just can't see what we're doing.
Yeah.
It's all good. I just got my soil test back this week, so pretty interesting shit.
I seen you hold them up there, but could tell us what was going on there. What was going on?
No, it's the whole fucking like multi-page report I got from the soil doctor. So it's pretty kick-ass. Like he takes all the test results and lays it out in a graph based on his numbers. So like these are all below what's considered the line is considered where he's looking for the numbers, and then above are excess. So sodium and magnesium I was way excess on, and then all the
Now,
NPK.
is this soil test after the plant was grown or previous to the plant being grown, or both?
No, one. Well, yeah, one of them was after one round through it, and the other test I had done was after 2 rounds through it. So.
Okay.
Smiley, can you DM me your test results? I'd love to look at them because I might look into Soil Doctor for my testing.
Yeah, dude. He doesn't do the.
I like his knowledge. He seems very, very knowledgeable. I mean, I tailor my own stuff, but at the same time, like I'd love to get just like super basic breakdown and learn actually how to do it.
So this is the recommendations. I can't see if I'm showing it right, but like this is what he's like.
Mill alfalfa, gypsum,
Yeah,
kelp phos. Yeah, go ahead and just DM me
he's
pictures,
breaking
brother.
down. He's breaking down like what, how many cups of what I'm gonna need to add.
Nice.
To get the numbers to where they need to be, and how to even water them in, like some of the micros, the manganese, copper, zinc. That's
actually,
and watering in because it's such a small amount to go there. You know what I mean?
Dude, yeah, I would love to get his opinion because again, I make my own nutrient line and I know what's in it, but at the same time, it's almost balanced to what you actually have there. But I would love to pick his brain on why he uses the well, again, I know why he uses super concentrates because they're cheap. But if my numbers are close to his, you know, because I've done a whole lot of soil testing, but at the same time, like I feel like you kind of need to figure out what's wrong with the plant and then readjust for next round. But soil testing is killer. I mean, dude, it's so easy, so balanced. But at the same time, there's so many people that have so many good knowledge. I mean, I want, that's what I want to be, is I want to be on that scale, is I want to be like, no, I know. Well, I want to be able to have multiple sources that you can drive from instead of being like fish, bone meal, this like super sulfate, I want to be like, no, if you want like an organic source, or if you want to go marine, or if you want bovine, or if you want like, I have, this is this recipe. You don't like that? We can do this recipe. If you don't like that, we can do this recipe. If you don't like that, this is what you do.
Yeah,
it's all just different. But no, like I love him. He's dude. That dude drops some fucking knowledge for sure. That's a dude that knows what's up for sure.
Foliars.
I was really impressed, man. That's all I got to say. And he uses the Logan Labs. You go to his website, it's $50 to Logan and $40 to him. And he does this. I mean, it's not just the same like this. This is the report you get from Logan. You know what I'm saying? Just the raw data on it. So you get that portion of it too. And that's my paste test and all that. It just shows the raw ppm numbers. And then he applies them to his numbers. I like
that you have both of that too.
So
when I get set up in my next space, I actually want to take my soil sample and send it to like 6 different companies and see what they all send me back, just to see if they're different or what they recommend.
No reason to not do that the whole way through. I mean, even the flour, you know, like we're just talked about butter or concentrates or flour and everything, you know, and I don't know how many people go out of their way to send it to multiple labs. They think testing is expensive, so they're probably not doing that, you know.
Right. Well, the scale that I'm going to be on here in just a second, hopefully it should not be an issue, but at the same time, it's like getting your flour tested multiple times at the same lab, and then a few different labs multiple times and see what they test for with this. Like, if you can, you're like, no, I want this one bud tested, this one bud, this one. So it's the same. Or you can even be like, no, I'm going to grind this one bud up into the same consistency, and I'm going to give you samples each way. And then you can do all of your liquid chromatography, everything else that you do. But I want to see each level because they should be the same, correct? Because it's all the same consistency. It's all the same flour. It's all blended together. It should be 100% the same. So how are you testing it? So if the tests come back different, okay, so what test do you like the best? What one actually gives you the most information? How can you tailor that? But that's when you start being like, okay, testing don't matter. This one lab is the one I want to use. So everything I test, I go to them. So if I'm going SFV, SFVOG, next run, you go SFVOG again, but you take them to them again. They test the same. They test new flowers from the same strain. Dude, if you test higher, dude, you've grown better. Good job. That's what you need to do. But it's all about testing for you. It don't matter what anything actually like physically tests on the test, but it all depends on, as a grower, if you're progressing. If something's wrong and the THC comes back lower, figure it out.
Well, I could see people getting so dialed into the soil doctor's test that you have, to where they're looking at that line and then they're going to blend their soil or do whatever they have to get everything dialed in that same exact amount. And then I did want to know, is this with cannabis in mind? Obviously, is where he measures all that once.
Eagle, I think you still have me pinned too, as like, I think everybody on YouTube's looking at my beautiful face. Hey.
One thing I really like to actually do with
You're
my
muted,
soil, if
Eagle.
you possibly can, is if you can test
You were
it
showing
right
your
before.
results. That's why
Yeah.
I had you pinned.
No, I know. It was down there though. But yeah, no, I honestly, man, the amount of information you get for the $40 to them, it's unreal. And if anything, I mean, you're getting a packet of stuff and information about remineralizing your soil, about how to apply, certain things like watering them in, and how to apply foliar.
That is so affordable. How many pages was that? And how much ink is in there? You're like basically just paying for the printer, the paper and the ink it's printed on. Not even the time and the machines that it uses to test all that shit with.
No, dude. Actually, I just printed them. He sends you a PDF.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah, I just printed them out because it's easier for my eyes to read and for me to show or whatever. But I guess it would have been easier to flip it on a share screen. But anyway.
Yeah, because you're a grandpa.
I mean, if somebody is mixing their own soil, I think it's fucking well worth it, dude.
Woo! Yeah, I would go crazy with that. I would be like on like an amphetamine like buzz and dial in that shit and get it 100% at the exact bar that he wants it and see what happens from there. But,
yeah, that's the game you're gonna try to play with it, I guess. But yeah, I mean, it's
because I've never, I want to now, and just only now because I think it's a waste of my time and a waste of money to make new batches of super soil. But eventually I am going to want to re-amend it and then do it. And if it doesn't, if I'm getting results I'm happy with, there would be no reason not to just keep doing it, so. Super
Cheers,
soil
ready?
lasts a long time anyways.
I'll give you this a fix in a minute. Cheers, guys.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, it's going pretty good, pal. Good to see you. Good to see you, Red Pill.
Yeah.
Johnny.
What's
Smiley.
up, Reddy?
so
I
man.
do this.
What's up, Reddy?
There you go. Hey, how you doing? World's last hope.
You're everywhere, Reddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get around a little bit.
Well, shit, Reddy. Let's smoke a bowl, man.
Once you make it to California,
Yeah, man, it's networking.
Everybody's out hanging out with friends, and those Ali's out there, modern.
No, I didn't make it. Sorry, man. Up here in Canada, man.
Yeah,
Trying
from
to keep
Canada.
Keep the house going.
I've been in chats before where there's like there's like maybe 6 people watching and no one commenting, and then I'll see Reddy say something and I'll be like, hey, that small of a world.
Oh, man.
Reddy,
Keep the little guys going.
he's everywhere, man. I seen him on was it Manic Mouth today? Was it yesterday or today?
Oh, yeah,
yesterday.
the other day I was on
Yesterday.
Manic. Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple times
Nice.
before that.
Getting around.
420 Grow Tent. I've been over there. Yeah, man. Also been making amends with some friends too, some old troubles, Every once in a while, you see your friends, you still love them when they get in trouble with others. You just put your hand down and say, hey, come on, smoke over here. Hop up. Let's do this.
Yep.
I'm not
That's right,
an
Reddy.
evil
That's
person.
right.
I get issues sometimes.
It's too close, Red Pill. We can't see it.
I know. It looked, but
There
for
you
me,
go. right in there.
Look
It's
like-
kind of focused. We can't
Yeah.
really zoom in on it or
This is the
anything.
front
But, you
facing
know.
I
camera.
can't.
So.
Hold on. There you
Uh-oh.
go.
Got
Give
it.
her another go.
Got it.
Nice, man. Looks good.
That's the best the front facing camera is probably going to do.
Yeah.
Dig it.
I need to keep
The,
moving.
the best thing about it is the smell, though. It's it's reference wise to me, it smells like LA Confidential. What LA Confidential to me smells like is a minty pine, like a pine that stretches a little bit further. Sometimes pine, it's a little bit, not
Rub
as
it in. Ready to go.
not as like flying around as a smell, not as aromatic, but minty really is. You can smell mint from like 6 feet away. But this has that effect to where it smells piney, but it smells more amplified by mintiness. Really good.
Smells delicious. Mint's good for stress on its own, much less, the pine aspect of it. Sounds fucking really good. Really good.
Almost maybe even like a little bit of cedar to it too, not just pine. Like it just smells woody and minty. But I like weed that smells like that, very foresty type smell. And concentrates, if that flavor comes comes through, it reminds me almost of like camping or like a mossy tree stump.
Being around the forest, I live around it, so I know that smell. Very
Man.
common around here.
Unfortunately, I'm used to I was born and raised in the forest also. Like whenever you start growing wheat, dude, that's that good old like, oh, dude, we got sagebrush everywhere. Dude, we have no pests. But unfortunately, everything tastes like sage. If you grow near like pine trees, dude, the pining and the concentration and the like actual like compost, you're like, dude, if you want to enhance the pine flavor, that's where you want it. But you don't want to run like tangy because you're going to get pine on it unless that's what you want. But again, like I feel like the pine needles actually have a very big effect on the flavor if you're using that compost or extracts.
Well, speaking of tangy, I got some sour tangy. Go ahead.
The first
Sorry.
time
There you
I
go.
ever had,
Burn that baby up, ready?
the first time I ever had Bubba Kush and I had the terpene profile like locked in my head, it was kind of similar to this in some kind of, there's other tones in the background, but what jumped out to me was more of a woody smell. And I almost kind of thought like, Kush has to be growing somewhere where there's other trees and these plants taste like the sap of the trees, right? And maybe that was 1 or 2, maybe even 3 years before I watched Strain Hunters, where they're in India. And Franco's describing the smell of the char. They're up in the mountains making chars, the hand rub stuff. And he's saying that it even smells like the pine and the resin that the trees have that are surrounding the
I saw
area.
that episode. I saw that they were making char. Yeah, I saw that rubbing the plant.
Chars?
Get that.
Yep.
Yeah, more. That was a cool episode.
God damn it. I had a point I was going to say, but never mind. Totally lost it.
That's all right. 17 hours, we give you credit.
Dude, I feel dumb after
Hey,
fucking
Smiley.
talking that long. Holy shit, dude. Ooh.
Smiley, those results, man. So that you could really dial in your grow with that. Hey, what you thinking? You know what to pull back on now? What's excessive? Because you can get nutrient lockout if some of that's too much, right?
No doubt, yeah. Getting it out of balance. So like, I don't know, I've been on here saying before, like I'd never like spraying Epsom salt. I never like using it and I never like spraying it. And my plants always have a negative result from it. Well, the test explained why. Because I was already in excess on magnesium and so it was already out of balance. So anytime I added more to it, it just made it more out of balance. So
Do you have equal amounts of magnesium and sulfur?
no, it's sodium was really high and magnesium was high.
Smiley, in the next few days, if you can DM me, I'd love to pick your brain about what's in your soil, and then I'd love to go over your soil tests.
Yeah.
I've heard people explain that one of the
Picking my nose.
most common excessive element you find in soil is sodium. And I was trying to think of where does all that come from? You know, 'cause I'm thinking,
Actually, it's really funny is if you look at my page really quick, when you start doing elemental breakdowns, mineral content, B vitamins, enzymes, mineral, very, very low content of certain elements, you'd be surprised how many things have natural sodium in them. Sodium locks up in your soil, but at the same time, gypsum is something that gypsum's what actually sucks it out of your soil. So I bet you anything, let me guess, your soil test says it has gypsum. It's going to try to suck the sodium out of your soil.
Oh, they recommend gypsum.
Yeah. There's a way, that soil itself
that tries to help process and balance your sodium and suck it out, so it's no longer stayed. It actually sucks it out of it. But it's just like vitamin C. Vitamin C helps process iron. So if you have a high volume of iron, vitamin C helps that. If you have a high volume of iron, you're also going to have to double up your nitrogen because it actually makes nitrogen.
Yeah, man. You're getting this stuff together.
No, well,
salt
again, like
in soil has wiped out whole civilizations, bro, because they didn't know it was building in their soil, and it was just building, and then boom.
The guy that made synthetic nutrients, that made the salt-based nutrients in the 70s, went back to organics, and it took him 10 years to get his soil back where it was when he first started because he depleted it and burned it so bad. It came to a point where he'd plant and fry. Plant, fry.
Oh, cheers.
That's what caused the Dust Bowl.
Yep.
Right on, ready.
I know, man. I'm hungry too, bro. I get right in there with you. Fuck it.
I'm just having you in here, ready. That's good.
This guy, man, had to come in at least once in a while. Gotta dust off the old Zoom.
I'm heading out. I'm out of energy.
John,
I gotta. Yeah,
you too, buddy.
Yeah,
don't overdo
right on, guys. Yeah, I got it.
Glad you're home.
I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.
All right, Johnny.
Peace, Johnny.
Wow.
But yeah, that's the idea, right? Just try to get control over it, or know, you know what I'm saying? Even now too, like, you know, I have some of his recommendations and I don't have bone meal. I didn't, you know what I mean? So I can kind of kick it back and forth with him. I haven't taken the time to do that yet, but I'll like add fish bone meal or whatever, and then I'll kind of see where I'm at, you know, with another test, or I can address stuff fully really too. So
I'm exactly the same way. When they kick me back to test, they're like blood meal, bone meal, you know, a bunch of random stuff. But at the same time, with blood meal and bone meal, I'm like, I'm going to use fish. I'm going to supplement fish bone meal. How much fish bone meal do I use? If I need to supplement something super high in nitrogen, can I supplement alfalfa fish, feather meal, or, you know, I try to find a source that equally to it. That's another reason why I really like the style that I do, because if you're lacking elements in your soil, like minerals, you're like, man, I'm going to have to like put this mineral in my dirt and it's going to take for days. Well, most plants, you might find a plant that actually has those levels so you can buffer them while that's actually trying to process your soil.
Well, I just think that there's a lot to be said about, you know, oftentimes the problem isn't in what we don't know, but the problem lies in what we think we know, and it just isn't so.
Definitely.
In that case, it was for me anyway. So, I mean, honestly, though, the test lined up with a lot of the things I was seeing in plant response from foliar. So, like the micronutrients, the plant would respond really well with, like fulvic acids and seaweeds, and you know what I mean? It was low on nitrogen. That's why it loved to eat up aminos if I sprayed those. It loved to eat up potassium if I sprayed them. It's low on all that stuff. So any of those I was getting a good response from, except the magnesium, and that totally nailed it of why, you know what I mean? So it's not
that's awesome.
And it's not to say that that's the right suggestion for everybody. You know what I'm saying? There's probably a great time to need it. You know what I mean? That's the importance of the test, because how else do you know? Like I really was kind of like, I don't know, you know, like
actually it's really funny.
Building up from somewhere. It's building up from somewhere, bro.
Well, right. I did pretty well the same thing.
I had one test done before, and along the way you're re-amending, you know what I'm saying? And I was doing it in stages. So like I would do small amounts every 3 week kind of thing. And so that cycles, I mean, I've hit amendments to that pot's probably 5-6 different times easy. You know what I mean? So now it's kind of like, well, fuck, where are you at? You're just stabbing in the dark, trying to figure out where you're gonna go with adding to it after that.
That's another reason why the other night that I said the basic soil test kit was not a bad idea. Because if you keep re-amending your soil, like you said, you start kind of getting an idea what your plant needs. But when you start running into a problem, you're like, what the hell's kind of going on? Full diagnosis is awesome. If you do not have the money, you can actually get there's a like $12 soil test kit that has 40 tests, but it'll actually tell you NPK and pH. If you're already buffering your minerals and but again, like full soil test kit is super cheap. So I mean, like just you can do either one. Feel like you want to do it yourself, or go ahead and get it analyzed and figure out what's really wrong with it.
Sour candy in the
bowl. It's $90, and honestly, in a course of a yield, $90 might be another half fucking ounce. So, do you think just listen, hear me out. Do you think knowing where your soil is at and how balanced your minerals
still
are,
giving
give you an extra half fucking ounce? Goddamn right it is. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's costing you money not to do it. Is the way I'm getting at. You know what I mean? It's
definitely,
like, and I don't care.
100%.
The size, you know what I mean? If you're at all interested in it, it's like it's kind of a no-brainer.
So we know how like plants. I mean, there's technique is advanced now, where people have gotten faster at being able to put different cycles of on agriculture scale, different types of plants periodically in the same field, so that way they recycle the soil faster, so they can grow, if it's the sugar cane or hemp or corn, right back in that same field again, same exact spot. So with that testing, and when you have like minute levels of things that really shouldn't be in the soil, and all your inputs are slowly adding those things, even though not in a bad enough way where you're going to notice it the very first time you amend it and then grow plants in it. But after being recycled, like not in a living soil raised bed, but in pots, amended soil or super soil type technique, how many cycles of that would you have to go through to where the plants are uptaking all the things that they want to and then that they need to, but then you reach a threshold to where, because the whatever thing wasn't necessarily supposed to be there and it never got taken up by anything, it was just accumulating over and over again. What do you do with the super soil then?
Well, you got to balance it. So like in that case, yeah, I mean, it's whatever the test would kind of show, but super soil is kind of a different.
4 cycles is to dial if you have testing, 6 cycles if you're not testing and you have a buildup of something.
Yeah.
Where's my cup?
Because it's like what they say, and you have to let a field fallow. And the fallow process.
I've done within 3 runs for sure. Just trying to do it myself. But that's and you know what I mean, and trying to figure out as best I could. And I spent a lot of time digging through what individual amendments do and different things like that. So, but the math part of it I never got to, and that's where soil doctors kind of got. Like he does that class, actually, World's Last Hope. If you're curious, his whole soil.
Yeah, I will probably take it, definitely. Yeah, seems like a bunch of good information for sure.
And his study and what he knows about how fast organic nutrients will break down and become available, and like he looks at so many tests, you know what I mean? Those are tests before, and then what they added. They'll look at tests after and tissue tests, and the dude's got his head in the game, you know what I mean? It's just
no, I'm definitely interested, because that's probably something that, again, like, just dude, if somebody can raise the game and bring new knowledge, dude, it benefits everybody. Love it. Yeah. Definitely. No, I'm definitely probably going to check into his class. I love his mentality, his knowledge, and how he approaches things. So I will probably definitely take his class. But because it's going to actually enhance my grow and make my classes better also. So I mean, like, it's going to transmit and it spread to everybody. So it's going to be a very good thing.
There you
go. Yeah, that's a good ball, man.
So I'm excited to see it come around, because the plants actually look really healthy. I was surprised to see it that deficient on some things, especially the NPKs. That's the one that really blew my mind. The nitrogen, the potassium. My phosphorus was down quite a bit, and so was calcium. Those are all the big ones everybody always talks about. You know what I mean? So it wasn't a surprise,
Yeah.
but it was kind of like I was surprised how much the calcium really moved down on the chart. You know, because that was like 3,500 parts per million from the test before to the one after. So that's quite a bit. So I think you only start out with like 8,000 or 8,500, something like that. So interesting.
Actually, that's another reason why, like, if you're trying to do your own amendments and do your own re-amending, that if, again, like, that test is killer. I'd love a full breakdown. If you're a small scale, some guys can't afford anything. Like, they're like, no, dude, like, every single penny I put into my garden is, dude, cutting from my expenses for my food, you know, like,
Yeah.
if you're trying to re-amend to a living soil, one thing that actually worked for me personally is I had a room that, like, literally, like, I was like, dude, this thing is wrong for something is like weird off something. Like, set them in there. They went for like 14 weeks, looked like week like 4. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, dude, these things are just sitting here and they're progressing slowly, but they're not going. They're like, what the hell is going on? Just me taking that $12 soil test kit. Again, I promote the very, very in-depth one, 100%. For me, this is how I corrected this one room.
That's my little cup.
I was like, dude, I've been using the soil for a long time. What the hell is going on? So I did a basic NPK pH test. Found out my pH was low, and I was lacking phosphorus, potassium. But it looked like nitrogen because the pH was off. So I was like, oh, okay. So I balanced those out, balanced the pH, balanced the phosphorus, potassium. Dude, they've been fucking crushing it. But that was $12 for 40 tests. So if I run a full room and one pot is wrong, I'm like, what the hell's going on? So I will, I'm like, oh, what's going on with this? So I will pH. That's just on site, 10 minutes. Here you go. But I definitely love the full breakdowns, definitely more. But that one is $12 for 40 tests. So somebody that doesn't have space, running a 4x4, one plant, tiny garden, or somebody that is already super dialed, that has been rerunning their soil over and over and been like, all right, so everything's been fucking money. Something's off. What the fuck is going on? That will give you just a basic idea. But the full soil test kit is exactly what you want. But that's, again, $12 for 40 tests, but 90, what you said, it's $90 for the full on soil evaluation from your soil.
Yeah, it's $50 for the testing and 40 for the advice. So.
Does he actually make amendment kits? Does he actually be like, here's your soil, here's what you need, I'm gonna send you something that'll balance it, use this much per pound?
Yes.
You did say something about the steam.
Nice.
Hey, world.
That's awesome.
Burn one with me, bro. Blow it up.
That's awesome.
Man. Let's burn one, big smiley, red pill.
All right.
Let's burn this. I like rock and roll.
Someone's ready to hit hot fire.
Man, Ben.
Hey,
my bong got named.
By the way,
it's called Quicksilver.
Who's the 5 best rappers of all time? Dylon, and Dylon.
Because it's spit hot fire. Oh. I got you. I spit hot fire.
If you're 30, you understand that joke.
Yes.
But you smoking red pills?
Those nugs I was showing earlier. I don't know what it's called.
Oh, it's mystery bud, but it's fun.
Hey,
Gotcha.
Hey, you don't know what it's called? Why don't you fucking name it real quick? You call that shit Dylon. You know why? Because it spits hot fire.
Because of this moment right now here, and we'll always know.
It's the blaze.
I could see that. Hey, it did spit me out a couple bag seed. So far, I've collected 5.
Sweet. Gave a bonus.
It's good
That's
weed
cool.
that you know, every now and again you get a little good seed out of it. It's not totally seeded. It's not seedless. It's right there in the middle. So
Oh man,
Need to fire
chat
up
is
this.
totally loving me tonight. Holy mackerel!
I didn't do it.
I'm lighting up this Skywalker OG. It's gonna make me confused, and I'll sit up here going,
And it's been so long since I've got to smoke a nice hash joint. It's like having an old friend. Head
That's-
back, man.
It's already dry.
Just send hugs, bro. That's what I do.
I had the littler hunks that, you know, I broke off some of the littler hunks. They were some specs. It'll burn if I'll smoke it somewhat wet. I'm not particular. I want to smoke my hash. I have some dry. I had some dry now. You see that fucking? I shouldn't even be talking, man. That machine's still pulling. Did you see that 90 I just pulled out of there? That fucking hunk was as big as my goddamn fist.
Yeah.
That's still, but judging by that, there's probably about at least 2 more pulls out of that machine that are usable.
And that's all for
Keep
you.
going till she don't put out no more, right?
You don't go to the patients with any of that. That's all for you.
Well,
Wow.
they want it.
It's like I'm doing all the work. Oh.
That's sure, yeah.
Certain ones, maybe.
Ugh. My shoulders are just so sore for some reason. Fuck. Where is my phone?
If they happen to catch me with it.
No.
That's funny shit.
No. They get some.
I don't see it. You can't show it all. That's why Eagle's only showing half. They pulled just so everybody in chat knows.
Damn.
Did pretty good today.
Fuck, I still need spray. Yeah, let's go ahead and put that up. Yeah, that's C. Nice. Like it.
Starting weight of the material was, I don't know. I don't give a shit. It was probably over my number. All that material came from the wreck side.
That's so fun, dude. That's so fun.
Ain't it though?
I got the township coming to my place to fix the water meter or some shit, which happens to be right in the corner of my flower room. So I was like, well, I can schedule it for this day. In a couple weeks. What do you do? I don't know, man. You know?
Yeah, what do? You gotta let them in.
Yeah,
It's
they
legal.
threw me an $800 bill or some shit. They fucking like a water bill or something, and I called on it, and they're like, "Well, you know, they're estimating." So he just give me a fucking heart attack just to get it fixed. Damn.
Low down dirty tricks, see?
It worked, man. I don't know. I can't blame him. I guess whatever, the tactic worked. So
We had the guest mate.
it's on the
Cost as much.
Man, I was thinking about water today. Thanking my goodness that I live on a property with a well, because man, just washing. I know I use quite a bit of water, and then the rest of the shit I do around the house. But man, just washing hash today, I bet you I've went through fucking 500 gallons easy today. You know what I mean? Just washing hash. That shit adds up, man. Easy 500 gallons today of water.
I bet it does. It adds up quick. That's what I was thinking too. 'Cause I don't know how they measure that, but it says like 110. It said on the bill, and it was like money. And I was thinking in my head, I'm like, that's 110 gallons. That's gonna be probably about what it fucking is. I don't know. I don't know if that's how they.
You know
measure.
what how I always get is how they measure because the water bill and the sewer bill is always in one. And for some reason, they have a formula with the amount of water going in to the amount of septic going out. And I'm like, how does that break down? They figure how much, you know what I mean? How much water can flush down a fucking thing of shit or some shit? How's that work? You know what I mean? How they figure out
It is. It's a
what's
percentage
going
and a
on?
formula based off, yeah, whatever the water usage was. There's a formula for the sewer. I don't know.
Is familiar with it? Yeah.
I'm not trying to argue over some fucking gallons of water with them. That's for sure. I'm just gonna
Stupid
pay.
wires.
They can fuck with you, man. They'll take your fucking house if you owe on the water and shit. They can fuck with you over that stuff. You don't want to mess with them. Just fucking, I'm gonna get it done. I've been putting her off for a while, but I didn't know it was like not getting read. Like every month they were just charging me to manually read it. And I was like, all right, fuck. You know what I mean? And but then it was like, well, no, we send somebody out to say that it doesn't work, and they can't, and they're guessing. Like, and then I was like, oh, so yeah, fun stuff. That would be interesting though. Not fun having township officials in your fucking room, right?
Dreamer77 says, well, the water don't matter to me. I don't have the water bill, and I don't mind the work. Dry sift, I don't taste a little bitter, but I don't think it has the buzz or the shelf life, to be honest with you. That's why I don't dry sift. To me, fucking, there's way more work in dry sift than there is in bubble. Way more work in dry sift.
I feel like dry sift looks beautiful, smokes great, but definitely need to smoke it quick. But it's beautiful to press.
Yeah. If I prefer one process over the other, there is a lot involved with both ones, but I'm less tired after doing dry sift than I am bubble ash. So.
Fuck, I'm coming up on 24 hours of washing hash.
Definitely.
24 hours right now.
Damn.
Hardcore. You machine.
With the 20-gallon machine.
Eagle,
with the
DM me. I can show
machine.
you how to wash. Eagle,
I've
DM me. I can show you how to wash 50 gallons at a time with a 5-gallon bag. I was pulling out 80-gram pucks.
Must be doing it wrong. I know how
But
to
it was
do
also
it.
from like a fucking full-on 55-gallon drum.
How do you do it, Eagle brother? You got that wash machine, you say? Okay.
Well, here I can, fucking it's right
Yeah,
behind
yeah. I'm in the background doing I got to catch up to you guys.
Shut the background off and I'll give you a little peek. I've actually done the videos. You guys should watch me do this, but hold on, where's the fucking thing? Here it is. So right there, you go in the 5-gallon bucket. I actually am pretty proud of that modification that you can't see very well with the PCV pipe, hard piped all the way out and down, not with the flex pipe, and then with the drop down that gives you, extra less splash on your way to your bucket there, and of course, the insulation, and then I can wash that three times, which is 60 gallons, and then you're right, I stack my buckets, which are not all stacked, but they are right here, all stacked up with my my all mesh screens there. So that gives me plenty of room to, just the bucket stacked allow for close to 10 gallons, but you can see it dripping into, it's sitting on an oven rack, sitting over that 20-gallon catch. So right there, it's good to catch, close to 40 gallons before I have to take that bucket or that pitcher right there and then start dropping it into that drain, which is right down there.
That's the exact same setup that I was gonna
Or
just
feed
mention.
it
That's
to my
perfect, brother.
plants. Yeah, I've been doing it for like almost 10 years. I used
Word.
to. I sometimes
Yeah,
that
that's
that
that good
stainless
old
steel
fucking
can
trick.
right there. I've actually had set up that thing at one time with the shower drain in the bottom of that, with a ball valve with a 4-inch outlet into another can as well.
Nice.
I've had a few setups, so I've
Nice.
been making hash for quite some time. That puck that you just see me pull
Oh,
out
definitely.
there was fucking fist.
Nice. Hell yeah.
I
Yeah, when
I've made a
the
few
setup we
hash
did when we
how-to
did
videos.
nice. We had a buddy that had like a 55-gallon barrel of straight trim buds, just like stuff from that season. It's like, dude, I'm trying to do something with it. So we set up 55-gallon totes. You put your bags on a 5-gallon bucket, but you actually take a milk crate, clean a milk crate very, very, very well, put that in the 55-gallon bucket, but you're mixing in the 55-gallon tubs, mixing in another 55-gallon tubs, and then again you're just pouring it through, refiltering it, cleaning it, doing it as you see fit, But no, same exact setup. Hell yeah. Great minds think alike. I haven't seen a whole lot of people
can
actually do
also
that. So
use
fuck yeah, bud.
no there. Well, for your setup, I can suggest a tip for you is you can buy a cheap motorcycle jack from Harbor Freight for about $1.50, and you can put a 30-gallon trash can on top of it with the similar setup like I'm talking about with the ball valve on top. So you can actually drop it down and sit there and stir and stir and stir. Then you can pump it up and slide your 5-gallon bucket under there and
Okay.
dump it out,
okay. So
empty
the
her
difference
out there.
is you're using 2 containers. That's awesome. So I was actually having a spare clean 55-gallon, and then I was mixing in another one and taking 5 gallons and pouring it through at a time, and then remixing it,
Yeah.
moving it aside. So no, it's same exact technique, but fuck yeah, bro. It's again, great mindset.
That's what I do with the 20
the bags do
gallon
the work.
there. I empty into the 5, washing the 20, dump in the 5, and then I empty into the tower there. And a couple of tips
Actually,
on that as well is to drill some holes in them buckets, as you can see there. Full mesh bags, and then of course, your garden hose, which speeds things up quite a bit as well. You get a bit of extra pressure there, higher wash, but you can't do the garden hose trick without at least running the RV filter. To keep. Oh, fuck me! There goes a bunch of hash. Oh, that pisses me off.
Yeah, man.
Fuck.
There goes some spoils of war.
All right,
there.
You know what that means, dude? You got to take everything off the floor, roll a 2-gram joint of hash, and smoke it to your face. That's all that's left, man. Like party foul. What are you doing? No, exact same thing. But actually, I'm
you load that in a bong.
One thing instead of drilling the holes in the bottom of the bucket, I actually cut the entire bucket off at the bottom, so the bags
hopefully you're able to
droop
save
a little bit.
Well, that's the bottom bucket there, brother. All these are, as you can see.
Yeah, definitely. Fuck yeah. Yeah, exactly. Fuck yeah. Exactly the same. Hell yeah.
I try to save as much as I can.
That good old vacuum cleaner tech. You got to get that vacuum cleaner with the pantyhose and fucking suck that shit up.
Oh, there's no need for that. I can empty any of them bags in seconds. I got a method.
You're like, just run it through one more time.
I've been running hash for 2 days. There's plenty. It's fine.
Stuff out.
I've been running hash for quite some time.
All right, let's get some spraying done. Ugh. Oh,
It's a
guess
mess
we're-
back there, man. Does it look like I've been making hash back there for a couple of days?
No.
So there's another good little tip for you. There is, you got to have your catch bucket. You don't cut the bottom off the catch bucket. You cut the top off under the rings, and that allows you to pull the bag inside out and bring that bottom right up to the top, so you can scoop right out of there. You can spray it down as it pull up. As you pull that bag up, you can spray the material down and pull, spray, pull, spray, pull until you get it into a nice puck, and then you can just kind of flip that puck right out of there.
one thing you might
Ice
try
cold water.
is instead of pushing it off the bag and down the like bucket, like raising it, but pulling that's actually pulling your bag glands apart a little bit, so more hash is falling through than needs to. If you actually just take the bag, curl it, if you hold it in your hands and put one finger in the middle, like one finger out, it makes like a circle with a little V. You actually can give it a little bounce and spray it, and the puck will rotate over, so you can actually get all the glands.
What are we talking about here?
So this pony the other day. No. Terrible.
So
No, hash.
Oh, all right. My bad.
yeah, usually it doesn't matter there because I just that what I rinse through there and what would fall through there from the stretch, I dump right back into the tower into the next, whatever little bits going right next into the kitty and getting caught into the next screen anyway. So I'm not losing.
I need to invest in some new bags. I did that for a little while, but my 220 is now like a 260. My 160 is like a 200. But it's from I had a few people that were doing it really hard. It just kind of stretched. Well, again, they're old, so I need to reinvest. I need to get some actual fucking bubble magic ones.
Fuck, man. Yeah,
I love the full screens. I love the full screens.
I'm fucking throwing these things out. I'm telling you right now. Anymore, this is what fucking happens. Let me show you something. This is Hash 101 right here.
Hash 101.
This is
all right.
This is what happens when you fucking start saving bags. There's probably about 30 fucking kits in here. Oddball bags. Fucking, I got about 50 73s. I've got fucking 45s. I got different oddballs with ends and this and that. Tons of fucking bags here that I spend time cleaning. And that I spend time cleaning, putting up, drying for $25 fucking dollars. The price of 1 gram of fucking hash. Yeah. I can throw these bitches out and fucking order me a new set next time I want to wash them. And then I'm not worried about these things getting dirty or musky. I know I could clean them, obviously, but for $25, it ain't worth the hassle anymore. Fucking
dude, you straight up take one run and do all your bags in your bucket. You're like 170, 170, 170. You're like, I'm gonna separate.
I usually put them in the washer. I usually do that, brother. I usually put them all in one. I put them in that machine, and that's where I start the washing process. And I pull them out. I'll wash the cycle in there. I'll pull that bottom one off. I'll rinse it, run another cycle through there, pull that bottom one off until the machine's clean. You pull it all apart, that bottom piece out, wipe it full of alcohol.
Nice. Hell yeah, man.
I actually pull that top off. That top piece comes off so I can actually fucking clean under that thing too. I've seen too many dirty machines.
I have not invested in a few machines yet. I'm still in that hamster game.
Hey, Vince.
We got the 20.
What's up, Raz?
How's it going, gentlemen, ladies out there?
It's dab time.
Dab time.
I'm sorry, Raz.
Yeah, man, you know how I do. Oh, dab time?
You motherfucker. Dude, see, I'm over here trying to treat plants, and y'all are like, well, it's just smokable. I'm like, well, if you're gonna
whooping the ass of the 8th graders, or the incoming freshmen would fucking get lined up to get their ass licked, whatever. You know what I mean? They were getting, that was the premise. But I was like, that never fucking happened in my town. Like, I don't know, like,
It was
what town
Yeah,
that is.
that was physical
that's
graffiti.
what
right
I
there.
was playing. It
Oh,
was
you-
from that movie. Was that
Same
version.
Smiley. It's more
I thought
like
my
they
screen was
walked
mine.
us
Look at
through
around me.
where the parties
Pearl
were.
Jam.
What
It looks like what would come up on my page. You.
most of my hookups came from the seniors.
See, see.
But was that ever a thing? Like, is that legit? Like,
Frosting wasn't allowed here. You weren't allowed to do that. If you got caught, you could get in trouble.
What was
for it.
that?
Frosting is what they call it in Canada.
Frosting.
Hazing.
Frost. Yeah, let's
Well,
like
I mean, like
hazing, frosting, it's
American
like hazing.
hazing.
but I mean, like the whole idea of a spanking like that, like fucking, they're making the paddles. That was like the whole town. All the other fucking teachers knew about it too. They're just like, "Yep, boys, fucking good luck out there and shit." Like,
Different
Yeah.
places, probably
like,
different
what fucking
things.
town was that, man? Like, where is this?
You
know
just
what I
let you
mean?
make the paddle ready woodworking.
Before we get off the subject on sound, I wanted to mention one more thing. I think it's you. Whenever you're talking, sometimes you're like tapping you got a wood table. There's like this thump.
That's the world's last hope.
Whoa.
He's got to kick
Huh?
it. World's last hope's making all the noise.
Oh, I thought there was like a table there or something you were thumping on. Somebody was. It happened.
I'm
when they
muted.
talk.
Yeah,
No, it's not happening right now. It was happening earlier.
there you go.
I've noticed it a bunch of times though. Anyway,
Yeah, it's hard to talk.
when you're out
How
there
about
trying
now?
to listen and you're in chat and you're trying to type, it's like
But it's
I guess
not.
I'm just getting old. It's like the extra bass into the. I wasn't listening to a song.
Yeah.
Do you hear it now?
No, I think it's somebody when they're talking and they're excited. They're doing something on the table or whatever they're on. It's vibrating into their mic.
I get excited
Oh,
sometimes.
I'm sorry. If it's me, I'll try to stay.
It might hit the bottom of the table, Rez, when I get excited.
Well, I'm not hearing it I'm not hearing it when we're on when I'm sitting on this side of it. So it's still being heard out in chat. Somebody can say something. Maybe
Is it
it's
me?
all in my head.
Is it me? Testing.
No, I swear
wish
it's mine.
we could fucking play music in the background like that. Like we were hanging out at somebody's house, like say fucking like Led Zeppelin playing in the background. We're all just everybody's got their head bobbing, just fucking, you know what I mean? Still talking plans, but we're all just fucking rocking out.
Is this one
That'd
of
be
those
fun.
situations where you're so high you're hearing your heartbeat?
Yeah,
Oh, but-
yeah, I have.
oh, quite a few times.
Yeah.
We should switch it to speaker view then, Eagle, and we could pass it around like they did on that 70s show, and they did the fucking panning scenes.
Yeah, that's my favorite part of the whole show.
Yeah, they'd all say
Well-
something, and then it fucking like they were passing the joint around that way.
Circle.
And the walls moving in the background.
Yeah.
Oh, that one, that's No, you do like the round
It's
table,
funny.
like the table, you know. It's all around.
So
The first
Oh, all the
time.
time.
When
They
was
call
the
it a
first
circle,
time?
I think.
yeah.
That's the first
I
time it
think that
happens.
would be
That's the first time it happens in the show when they get called up stairs, and I think it's about his car. He's getting the car, and they're standing, and the walls moving behind Red and Kitty, and it's like,
Their heads even came detached and switched bodies.
yeah, well, yeah, that and the time they had to explain the first time. You do it too. I've watched that whole show, man. That's a terrible.
Well, I'm from Wisconsin, so that's pretty much my entire upbringing for cannabis.
I got into it late, way
Yeah.
late. I mean, I didn't start watching it until 2003, 4, 5, something like that. 4 or 5, because I
Got it on hard disk.
I got hurt on the
series.
job. I hurt on the
Mhm.
job, and I was stuck in front of the TV, and there was like reruns 4 times a day.
for me, right around that time, it was I loved the fucking that '70s show, but fucking Chappelle Show was on right about that
Yeah.
time, man. I was fucking loving some Chappelle Show.
That was on when I was at the bar.
We just referenced Chappelle Show earlier with the dial-on.
Oh yeah, I know, yeah. That fucking show was classic.
Who spits hot fire?
I love
Yep.
the real world skit. And fucking my favorite was the Clayton Bisbee was good. Fuck, so many good ones.
I had a popped up one of those skits popped in my head earlier, and it's maybe a lesser known one, but they're making fun of Star Wars, and in the time where he made, we're talking 2003, 4, I guess some story was, one of those Catholic priest, type boys stories came out. So they made a skit where it was Star Wars and it was Darth Vader, like saying that Yoda molested him.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, you just see this outline in the background. You don't see him because he's like blotted out or whatever, but you see this outline in the background. It's a helmet. Oh man,
so many good fucking moments on there. The fucking the craps game, and there's one where the fucking
Donnell Rollins.
Yeah, Donnell Rollins. There's one that he does. It's not the one where they're gambling, but he's like smoking a joint and outside, and he starts singing about cooking a burger. The meanest burger in the world can be the meanest burger in the world if you cook it that way. He looks at his joint and he's like, I smoke way too much weed. That whole show's fucking them Charlie Murphy skits, man. Them Charlie Murphy skits were fucking gold.
What's sad about that is Charlie Murphy passed away. He did one of them about Prince. He's passed away, and he did another one about Rick James, and he's passed away.
That's sad. The Rick James stories. Oh, that's where I get. You guys see when I see Ned Denver and Mike Denver, I say it's 2 Denver minimum. That's what Charlie's story.
That whole it's I'm Rick James, bitch. I used to fucking do that all the fucking time, man. In restaurants. Casual conversations, you piss me off. I'm Rick James, bitch.
You mentioned
talking to?
Clayton Bigsby, and my buddy growing up in high school, one of his text alerts, you'd just be walking down the street and you hear his text alert go off, and it was Clayton Bigsby going, I want some crack.
When he goes to the school, it's just fucking
Biggums?
funny.
That's Tyrone Biggums.
Oh, fuck. Oh, my bad. I got him confused.
Yeah, but see, to really appreciate those or be disgusted by them one way or the other, because to me, that whole Dave Chappelle and the crack cocaine thing, for me, was nauseating. I had to turn it every time, and if it comes on now, I'd have to turn it. Somebody who is deep into crack or deep into coke, and it affected them bad, they see that. You want to grab the guy and grab it. Bam! I just want to pound your head against the wall. Because he didn't make it sound bad all the time, even though it was supposed to be. It didn't come across as Dave was upset about it. And he come from a culture where I was living in it, around that area where he come from in DC. And it was bad. So for me, if that flashes up, I taste it. It goes into my face. It goes into my whole system, man. I live for that shit every day after work. I get done working. It was how much can I get? How much money can I got? How much will I got to get extra money? We're talking $1,000, $2,000 a week, every week. Yeah.
I had my issues.
I see the humor in it, but I mean, just for those people out there who've been affected by it, man, it's like, I don't know. I'm just telling you how I felt about it. It just pissed me off.
I do Pookie method. Shake it up.
I guess it was my age.
Couple months.
I know
Considering
crackheads too,
you're-
and that fucking.
you're-
I mean, how many people on the panel have been crackheads? I mean, I was
I'm
in
much
every-
younger. I'm much younger, but I guess maybe it didn't affect me because I couldn't understand it. You know,
Different
see
era
it-
for me.
I couldn't
Sorry,
see it
bro.
from
I
that.
know what you
went
mean
into
now.
it so good.
I couldn't see it from that point of view when I was 13 when the show came out. But my mom, you know, there was a lot of neglect because my mom did have a crack addiction. But you would think maybe it would piss me off coming
I
from
can tell
that
a lot of
perspective.
funny
but-
stories too. I mean, I can tell a lot of funny stories to go in along with it. But I've had people who they had never had crack, and I gave them crack. I wasn't selling it. I gave it to them, and then you see them a couple of years later, and they're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. Their life going down the tube, and then they put a gun to their chest and fucking kill themselves.
Ooh.
And you're the one that started it. I mean, basically, they had the choice, but I mean, I have a lot of stories like that around the white stuff. So, but that one I'm okay with now because I told his wife he was married to at the time, and she's okay with it because it was his choice. But I mean, a lot of people kill themselves over that shit. I mean, I can tell you a lot of that stories, but I mean, a lot of people who've come out of it. A lot of people come out of
I don't want to say crystals right now, but I'm going to say crystals.
it.
Chappelle has a knack for that. He brings light to controversial shit like that through comedy, and he does
But
it in
see-
such a way that
You
But
want to
if
know?
see what-
You want to know
here's
how
the side
ahead
of
of
it.
my
Watch
time I
this.
was?
Watch-
In
watch
the
this.
7th grade when this show came out, I actually did like a little report for like one of my English classes, and it was like a poll. And I even though I was ahead of the curve, and I tried polling all my like the kids in the class if they thought Dave Chappelle's jokes went too far. And this was so early on that a lot of people were like, I don't know who Dave Chappelle is. You know, like 6 kids were like, oh, I love Dave Chappelle, you know, that kind of thing. So
Yeah, only just a certain cool few
I
guys.
would be curious
Right.
to ask how many of the kids that liked it did it, because there's the odds
You're
that
right.
you don't sound like you're somebody who got into it, so maybe they didn't either. But the other ones who didn't like it, maybe it became something that was like, I should try that. Because watch this. When he left, right, and he escaped out of that because he saw what was happening and he just didn't like the pollution in Hollywood, right?
Yeah.
What did everybody think he became?
well,
Fuck
yeah,
crack.
see, there's the
One of the
There's-
things that was happening
that's
was
fake
crack.
news before it was fake news, right? So what
But
really
that's
had
the first thing I thought.
what really had actually happened, there was a YouTube, he used to do all of Joe Rogan's clips before they did them in-house themselves, but Mischief Maker was the original YouTube creator. And he did like I want to say a 10-part series or maybe a 5-part series, and it was called the $10 million question or something like that. Basically, whatever the amount that Dave Chappelle was supposed to sign for that 3rd
50.
season. And it went through like clips and clips and clips of him talking, the other producer, Neil Brennan, talking, a lot of their friends and fans, you know, talking. And he basically put a good compilation, you know, saying like what you said, it was just a decision to get away from what they were trying to turn the show into, and too many outside people were trying to hijack it and send like literal, like he talked about some of the skits that they think and that he did, and he was like, no, that's straight up like propaganda. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
I have no problem thinking that maybe because he was really skinny at one point, when he went through his changes, that he might have been part of that. But some people can do it, control it, right? They're strong enough that they don't let whatever substance even that hard fully destroy their whole life. But he might have just been doing that. What he
I
said.
think it was.
But for me, when he disappeared, I thought actually from somebody who'd been in it, I thought that could have been one of the plausibles and then I walked through it. You're like, I don't know, he just disappeared.
I just thought it was an
Like, so
entirely
it's
made
not-
up story to destroy his reputation because he walked out of that deal and cheated them people out of
Well, I
so
can
much.
believe that. I can believe both sides, right? I can believe that somebody could be so.
It didn't affect him though.
violent.
He's survived like waves of before cancel culture was a thing. He's survived now, and whatever he's overcome through that. And I have there's a benchmark, I guess, or whatever, a standard of measurement you can go to see when you're okay with the elite or the people that get to put out the media. And if they invite you on for Saturday Night Live, you're in the clear. You would never get onto that show if you were blackballed from
No. Well,
TV.
yeah. Depends on what. Well, I won't go too far into that. It depends on who you're working for.
Guys, not to get too political, but we're trying to get political. What are you guys growing?
Oh, growing. I got all kinds of stuff growing. I got a veg.
Anybody
since I'm
popping
down-
vegetable? I was just about to say, anybody throwing a bunch of vegetable seeds down right now?
I'm going to be going
What are you
to a
growing?
nursery probably this year, but I want to do a raised bed of eggplant and some kind of hot pepper, habanero, or anything hotter than that, whatever I can get at the nursery. Yeah.
Nice, man. I did some serranos last year and I made some fucking killer. Dude, I have the green tapatio that I really like. And I harvested a bunch of my serranos when they were green, made a ferment out of them, made it into a hot sauce. And oh man, I like that. Like it's the same amount of hotness, same tang, but like a little, I don't know. It's like smoking your own weed versus buying the same strain at the club. You're like, no, this has just got my I'm proud of it. It gave it better. Sorry.
I'd really like to get Scotch Bonnet or Trinidad Scorpion if I can get either one of those.
Nice.
Well, I went down with my back, so my flower room didn't get finished yet. It's almost done now, but I'm finally getting caught up. But I just my back every day. It's almost like I throw it out again, but I've popped it back in. So my veg is getting even in the small pots before I take it from 2s to either 3s or 5s. Oh man, I'm gonna be either half the top, or they're gonna go in the ceiling. And these are all my own testers, so I wanted to see what they're gonna do. Like, oh shit, I'm doing the thing that Eagle talked about one time, and I'm pinching everything with a purple stem. Okay, and I want to see how fast you grow back, because that tells me whether you're more indica or more sativa in the mix. I've noticed that all already. Yeah, that this quick. If I strip a plant, it comes back really fast. Oh, that's a freaking sativa leaner, and it's going to be a heavy producer. It depends on how tight the bud sites are. So I got a couple in there. I'm afraid that. I mean, is it literally if the plant is in a 2-gallon pot? Because I haven't got to see it. I haven't grown anything totally straight up. So if it's 3 foot right now, when I put it in the pot, if it ends up 4 foot, would that actually go 3 times that height? 12 feet?
Depending on genetics, yes.
Yeah,
but if you're going to go from a
sativa, yeah, baby.
You might want to try to put it in like a 5. If it
they're not
when it stops stretching is when the root development stops.
Whip that sativa.
The male was an OG that crossed that bred all 8 of these females. It was an OG. It was that Salmon River OG. But I'm seeing a lot of the female traits through and on the F1s. Now the back cross, they look more of the indica side, and the one is the blue leaves. So I know definitely what's coming through there.
That's the stretchiest plant I've ever grown personally is Kosher Kush. It's wide leaf, and you would think indica based upon the Kush part and the OG, but it has a 4 to 5 times stretch. You put a 1 foot tall plant. In this case, it was a 1 or a 2 gallon pot, and it stretched up over the light in a 4x4 tent. So
I can fix it all. See, I learned on that last grow, which was my second indoors starting, that if they get them tall, I have no problem chopping the whole top of that thing off. If those good, but bottom branches are good, having 2, 4, or 6, and then bending them down right there, and then let them go back up, and then I have this round plant with these stalks. I got no problem doing that.
This was a 3 in a time thing that I noticed. The first time I did it, it grew past the light, and I didn't do anything about it. The second time I did it, I topped it twice the normal amount I normally top a plant. It still stretched, and I had to super crop it, but still it sprung back up, and I got light bleaching on the top of the bud. So the third time I grew it, I did exactly. I let it grow the normal time I would, or same routine, and then at that point, because I grew it 2 previous times before that, I knew the exact time to cut the top of the plant to not let it stretch and burn into the light.
See,
and
that
perfect. No, it was perfect.
That's that moose and lobster I got, that clone I run. I know. I already did it once. If I flip that thing at 1 foot, it's going to be 4 foot tall. Perfect straight up and all the branching you want. It's going to give me 2 ounces of weed. I know exactly.
So
what
This was scary because I usually make four main colas on a plant, top it twice from the very beginning of a clone or the very beginning of a seedling, and I had 4 main colas to it, and I had to top it a double the amount of times to get 8 colas on this plant, but it didn't do anything to stop it stretching. So now I just had a bushier plant that grew the same exact height. So
I grew Super Silver Haze back in the day. I think it's at least a 4-time stretch. Super Lemon Haze, 3.5-time stretch. Casey Jones.
oh, I love Casey Jones.
Trainwreck, Lemon Tie.
Yeah,
Trainwreck,
sour
Trainwreck.
diesel.
What was it?
East
Trainwreck,
Coast
Lemon
sour
Tie,
diesel.
Sour Diesel. That's right. 8-time stretch. That's when you have to scrog sideways indoors. We threw a 3-footer outside. It was 18 feet. Straight up Neville's Haze. Dude,
Yeah,
that thing. Easter tree. Oh, Easter tree.
That's definitely in my top 10 all-time favorite strains for sure.
Well, I stretched.
No, they stretch. But the thing about sativas is once you start trying to feed them, they fucking hate it. They're used to being grown in tropical environments in brush that are
Let me ask you a
actually
question.
trying to like put the arms out in between brushes and trying to fight for canopy light with trees. So like they're very, very they're very Hermy prone because nobody goes by and touches them because how they are naturally grown. So if a goat comes by and starts eating it, it might try to fucking Hermy. How sativa it is because it's never been. If it's climatized, depending on how land race it is. Indicas are made so they're actually they're grown in all kinds of cold climates that the years change. They start getting used to shit, used to pests. They start hurting themselves off. But sativas take days. You can only grow them in certain climates. But they're starting to try to fight for canopy space. So when you actually start trying to feed them, they go, and put the claw out. Doesn't matter organic or synthetic. They go, Second you stop trying to water them and feed them and let them dry out and just give them just straight water, they go nuts. They don't like being fed. They don't get food. They're used to being in between brushes and fighting for canopy space.
So that's slow them down.
They need good soil. They need good soil. They need good soil and to be watered. That's what they want. If you fucking feed them, they go, and they throw that claw. Even anybody that you see grows Super Lemon Haze, Super Silver Haze, anybody that grows it synthetically, that grows with ammoniacal nitrogen, boom, there you go. You slapped it, huh? Yeah, it goes, and it makes that like downward claw. It's weird.
Yeah.
But no, it does not like food. The second you just give it nothing and let it back off, it actually does way better.
I just give water.
That's when it actually starts taking off. That's the best thing for it. Just manage your water regimen for it.
And you mentioned, and Smiley, you mentioned calcium. You're short on calcium. I don't know how much you are, and you're doing NPK anyway.
Yeah.
But you can just do a milk and water feeding. Milk and water.
For what?
To fix your calcium. Plus, it'll also put lactobacillus. It'll put the bacteria growing in there too.
Check out my bio.
If you're short of calcium, it's better than cow mag. Milk is awesome. That's why dairy farmers can grow such big corn. What's that?
You thought I was going to use cow mag?
I know. I didn't think you were going to use cow mag. That's the joke. Remember? But I mean, I'm just saying no milk. But you can also use a lot of milk. Use a 50-50 ratio, which I've never done, but they say in the reading I've done, it's a fertilizer. But farmers,
kale, for example, has the level of calcium that a couple
kale.
Yeah.
Check my bio. I have a full nutrient chart, how to make your own nutrients and mineral breakdown of everything, enzymes, calcium, vitamins. Dude, check my bio on Instagram. Has everything. It tells you how to make lacto. It tells you how to make fish amino acid. Check my bio.
I just like stuff. If you're in a dairy area, saying somebody has some spoiled milk, if you're spoiled milk, it's at the grocery dairy area.
This goes over that.
I don't know if I want to use a derriere on my.
It can
Wait.
You know, it's gonna
Hey,
smell.
hey, Smiley, you do not have to concentrate it with milk to actually get lactobacillus. If you actually leave a starch open in open air, lacto is in the air. It'll be concentrated to the starch. Why you add it to milk is to piggyback it to concentrate it. You still have lacto if you just use rice.
Right.
Or any kind of starch, potatoes, anything.
Well,
But what's adding the milk to the starch?
With just the rice, you'd have a consortium of whatever landed to eat the starches that are there.
Exactly. Well, it's going to be naturally drawn to it. Same thing with like cooked rice. So
Right,
like
the reason you switch it to the milk is
like when you're doing your IMO colonizations, it actually like it has lacto in it, but the milk piggybacks the bacteria on it and concentrates it. So you just want to use a little bit more or let it sit longer. But no, if you have milk, I would definitely look into lacto. But look at my bio. Take my class. You'll learn about BEM. So fucking tits versus lacto. It has lacto in it, but purple non-sulfuric bacteria, photosynthetic bacteria, nitrogen fixing bacteria, phosphorus fixing bacteria, mycelium, different kinds of bacilli. Like, yeah, check my bio.
Analyzed for bacteria.
Yeah, just check my bio.
I told a buddy of mine tonight to put 100 gallons in his shit in his tanker before he sprays it next time. I want to see what the test ground looks like. If he's got a plate that's short, he knows it's short on calcium. I'm gonna see what it is.
Yeah.
Oyster shell is 93%
We're talking dairy
calcium
farm,
carbonate, instantly available calcium for your. Dairy farm. You might even actually hook up with somebody that does chicken farm. See if their extra eggshells might be actually usable.
I just want him to add the milk
Sean?
to his dairy farm or right into his shit spreader before he spreads it, because
That's
driving
right.
it will shake it up.
I want to say good morning to my nephew, Sean. What's up, Shawnee? Glad to see you pop in, bro.
Ooh, that one needs to be done.
My favorite nephew.
These are farmers,
my
man.
favorite nephew right there.
Yeah, where am I?
I heard that
I think
idea.
this is
Favorite
not
nephew?
my-
Yeah, for sure. Oh, show.
My favorite nephew has two of his own, so they're my favorite nephews too. So there's three.
Yeah, he
He
actually
drives
fucking
fast.
Unreplicated. Totally.
he went to the fucking Motor City Cup with me with the bros, one of the bros we events there, and he was actually one of the few that came to the event, one of those type events, and didn't get smoked out. Everybody else, people had brought to the one of those events all had been smoked out, and he had an edible for the first time, man. He was lit. He was lit at that cup. He had one of those Spartan cookies. First edible he ever had was a Spartan cookie. He was feeling no pain.
Smart cookie? What's a smart cookie?
Spartan
I think he says
cookie. It was
Spartan.
one of
Oh, Spartan cookie.
yeah, Spartan Groans. One of the ones Spartan Groans makes.
I'm sure that's a good cookie.
There.
I'm sure that's a good cookie.
It put the hurt on, did it?
Yeah.
You guys been doing it long enough now in a legal state.
I actually lost him for a little bit. They were all like, "Aren't you worried about him?" I'm like, "No, not really. I know he's good. I'll find him. I'll find him."
Dude, one thing that really turned my head at one of the cups is there was a guy named Wolf RX that did medicated jerky. Oh man, that was delicious. Dude, such good jerky in general, but man, that had a punch. Woo. No,
Yeah.
oh man. Woo.
That's what when we were we're talking about the tinctures and you're talking about edibles and then we're talking about metabolite. One of the first things that popped in my head is how I metabolize different things, and I'll go through meat or jerky at a pretty fast rate if I eat it. So then I thought, what kind of sauces, can you medicate and put on beef jerky? And you have medicated beef jerky.
Dude, again, that one medicated tiramisu I made was fucking heavy. Actually, it's sick. We have a girl around here that makes cheesecakes. She makes like 15 or 16 different cheesecakes. You call her and go, "Any available?" She goes, "Well, you have to put an order in because I'm going to make it fresh." So, dude, holy mackerel, those things are good. She's got Snickerdoodle and Snickers bar and Reese's, and oh man, they're very, very, very good. But she starts making medicated ones. Holy mac, dude, oh, you have to have a 16th of a piece of cake and take 2 bites because you're like, holy mackerel.
The
Very, very good stuff.
The most effective and most nice to eat edibles that I would be able to get, like on a retail basis, is the caramel Chiba Chews.
Caramel what?
Chiba Chews. There's a brand, I don't know if it's still out there. It has to be. It was one of the bigger ones. Chiba Chew. They make little Tootsie Rolls and caramels, other things.
Yeah,
but
I remember Chiba Chews.
Yeah.
So I'd just like to point out the fact that this joint Smiley that I rolled in the beginning, well, we're almost pushing 2 hours into this motherfucker right here. I've been chiefing on this
Damn.
thing.
Holy shit.
Again,
How
why
many
the
grams
fuck
do you
am I
think you
here?
put
I
in
just taught a fucking long ass class. Why the fuck am I even here? What are you doing to me?
What all is in that spliff you're smoking there, Eagle?
That is some smash cake from Med Grower 1 and about an eighth of a fucking bubble hash
Holy shit.
down the
Nice.
center of it.
I've never put hash in a joint.
Oh, it's the best. It's
I
the
mean, you're
best.
getting dangerous up in there.
I haven't had good
Dude,
hash in years, though.
Eagles lit the fuck up. Oh, it's the best.
You know, and not to sound like someone that's higher than a guy that's been smoking a hash joint for 2 hours straight, but world's last hope, you're here because you're obviously one of God's messengers sent here to help us grow better weed.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
That was a joke and it was serious at the same time.
Well, thank you and haha, I guess. Haha.
I'm getting my
Oh,
nutrition. I'm eating
Sparky
seeds
Pilot.
because I clean weed.
Sean
These are looking real
McCann.
good, man. Tell you what.
It's cool. I'll reload. Just give me a minute. Catch my breath, man.
Oh, yeah.
There's some real fire out here in the high desert, man. I'm learning. There's some serious growers out here, man. People you don't hear about. There's guys out here that do everything. It's like, oh well, I guess they're everywhere. I'm sure they're everywhere. I ran into a guy and he's like, yeah, he said, I love F1s. He's like, they take them and they pick through them. They find something, they clone it, and then they do whatever they do with the clones.
Well, I don't want to blabber on more, but the best way to treat a true F1 that you get out of something that's really crazy is obviously we can go like scientific and say you can have it like stored in tissue culture for long term. But other than that, obviously keeping the clone around and keeping that healthy. And then on top of that, say like you do make a distinct cross to where now it's a hybrid. You go through those first batch of seeds that you find, and you find your favorite keeper phenotype, 2 plants that you go are distinct enough to make a pretty much a true hybrid. Basically, where you're seeing 50% phenotypic swing in those F1s, and some males that are like the mom, some males that are like the dad, some females that are like the mom, some females that are like the dad. You get to pick a plant out of there. And if you S1 it and back cross it to the point where it's cubed, then you have basically a stable variety of people can grow that seed out and have the very basically same representation that you found in that first batch of F1.
You will never find an S1 in my garden. That's just
If you take your stable pheno that's been hunted
You-
out of a bunch of stuff to a land race that's been cubed, the cube has actually been
right.
cubed,
You don't have
so
to
it
S1.
actually has it's pretty much its own land race at that point. But you're gonna find 50-50 batch, or the cross is gonna over dominate. Because like
Now,
if you take
outside-
Cindy 99 and you cross it to Larry OG, it all tastes like Larry OG. If you take it to Durban Poison, it might be 50-50.
Well, then, yep.
But no, that was another topic we went through for about 2 hours in my class too.
One point of that is when you do go through the trouble of making something like C99, let's say in that very first progeny of seeds where the C99 or the Cinderella or princess phenotype was found. You got phenotypic expression, and the males that never got talked about because they got discarded and never saw the light of day, those all had their own separate expressions. But what back crossing does is it gives you the male representation of what that female was. So now you're growing a 1,000 plants. If everything goes right, 999 of them should be exactly what the
That
plant was.
I do not agree with that, unfortunately. Like if you take Jack the Ripper is 9 different strains in it. If you take that to a landrace, you're still going to get 900 different variations. If you take a landrace to a landrace, you get 5 variations. It all depends on what it slept with.
Right, but this is just exclusively narrowing down the gene pool and only letting the plant breed with the very same phenotype. You know.
Well, exactly the same thing, but the same. Okay, so if you have Michael Jordan, there's Michael Jordan and his kids and his siblings. They're all completely different. They're not all Michael Jordan.
No, I'm not. This isn't true breeding in the aspect of being getting that expression in an outcross, but this is growing. If I give you my
separating the gene pool and then limiting it out and keeping going.
Right. If I give you my BX2 seed, I'm ensuring you that whatever plant that it was that I kept back crossing to is the phenotype you're going to see across the board. But what I can't guarantee is if you take a male or a female plant, breed it to something else, I can't guarantee that those specific genes are dominant and they're going to come across in the next seed line.
Well, it still depends on what you used to breed with, if it was a landrace or not. Because if it's an Afghani and a Pakistani, and that you breed those two together and start working from that, there's nothing in them. But if you're like, no, I love Apollo 11, or I love like something that has a bunch of things in it, it's going to show that genetic expression down the line. Doesn't even matter if it's an F2, but if you're going to limit it down.
You know what I truly think, though, is that you have to go so far out of what we have to work with. And we're talking like 2021 if you're popping seeds, or if you have seed collections. You know, in my case, my oldest seeds that I bought were like in 2007 if I still had them. A lot of things have changed in the gene pool and what kind of seeds are trendy and what people make new batches of seeds with.
100%.
But what I would think, and I revert back to a lot of Robert Clark's stuff, marijuana botany. And the whole thing is if we don't do anything to breed plants, the plants are always going to try to revert to how they would be in the wild, which to the furthest extreme on that end of the spectrum would be a monoecious intersex hemp, variety that's maybe only good for bearing fiber, for making ropes or something. Versus the work that we do, we go through the hand of breeding and selection, and we get to, even though people don't like the terminology Robert Clark used, he categorized it as drug type. That's the furthest recessive. There's dominant traits in hemp, and there's recessive traits in drug type. Sorry.
I'm done. You do it in animal breeding all the time. Livestock breeders do this all the time. If you're starting a farm, you can't start, if you don't have the money to start with the highest grade, you go by females that will give you kids, just hopefully give you kids. And then you go spend all your money on the male that has the dominant, has the size, is what you're going for, that is been classified as stable, right?
When you use the term dominant, though,
and then you put that on all the females, and then you see what comes out of those females. The first thing you can do is get rid of any females in that bunch that didn't give you anything good, and then you can get rid of any females that didn't start meeting perimeters, that have been set that need for the breeding stand.
I just want to be clear in a terminology standpoint that when us, cannabis breeders that are, like I said, dedicated for drug type cannabis, when we say dominant, on a botany level, it's actually recessive. But we're saying dominant because it's the traits that we're looking for that are trying to.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is with your with your recessive genes, when you're doing your table to figure out domination for genes, I don't think your table is big enough. I think you need to make it bigger and broader for what is bred in it, what
That's
genetics
why
were pulled to it. But you got to backtrack what
it's really
again,
hard
like,
to make a hybrid in 2021 right now.
well, again, it's like it's like if you take a regular pack of seeds, you take a female, for some reason or you grow it with something else, that something else Hermes on top of it makes new seeds. They might be stable because it was on a regular pack of seeds, or you might end up with a decent Hermes rate. But when you find a new genetic from that, it's going to already pass that recessive gene. You know what I'm saying? Genetically wise.
And then
Well, that's
if we're
why,
talking
I mean,
about breeding recessive to recessive, it has to be the Mendel type thing.
But again, the more things it's like if a white guy did a breeding project with a Mexican, so the skin type started changing. Then they went to Asia, then they went to Africa, then they went to Europe, then they went to India, and they started bouncing around. So all those genetic types are in that one person. So if they sleep with somebody that is even close to the same mix, dude, you're gonna have variation in the actual genetic
code. That's why I
code.
expanded it to the point of in humans. I just gave an example of like cleft chin. Cleft chins, at least the way I learned it, is a recessive trait. You need to have both parents have to have that recessive trait for cleft chins for you to come out with cleft chins. If you have two parents with non-cleft chins and they don't have cleft chins and you're never gonna. They can have a million kids together. They're not gonna give birth to kids with cleft chins.
Right. It's like the whole on Genghis Khan. Anybody that he bred with, everybody kind of looks like him, type thing. But again, it's all depend on how dominant the gene is, because in my family, my blue eyes are dominant. Both my daughters have blue eyes. My mom has blue eyes. My grandma has blue eyes. I don't know behind that, but my wife has green eyes. Her dad has green eyes. Her grandpa has green eyes. Her great grandpa has green eyes. My kids both have blue eyes. That trait is definitely dominant, but it all depends on how dominant
brown as yours.
And I
come out with brown-eyed kids that are like off. Like my wife is very, very white. I'm white. They come out black. I'm like, what the fuck? No.
I haven't passed on my genes yet.
Same as my oops.
I don't have any children.
But
on my dad's side,
the easiest way to find what you got is use the same male. If you want to do a line breed, start to breed with the male and then take all them seeds, bring it back to the same male. I kick myself in my ass for not keeping my male. I'm kicking myself in my
Hey guys, 11 minutes to 4:20.
Thanks.
Nice.
Well, warm up, boy.
Gooey breeder actually is to like a BX37 or 38 now, because he's kept his original male. It was like Afghani Maui Wowie to a new strain. He took brother and sister, kept the original male, took sister to brother, sister to dad, sister to great grandpa, 36, 38 times. It's its own land, it's its own strain. You buy them, they're 100% the same. But it's also called the champagne of weed, because it tastes that's the flavor on it. It's champagne.
Nice. Sounds
but
like champagne.
It's strong and it's coated to shit. Great for hash.
If you can get it to bubble, I'll buy it.
Oh, dude, Gooey was a project for me like 6 years ago. But no, he's still doing the same thing, man. He's still rocking hard. No, Gooey is definitely floating around. You just need to figure out what BX it is, but it doesn't matter because they're all the same. After you get past, so if you go to 3 and you have an open genetic variety, you might still have 5 different varieties. When you start getting to a 9, that's when you actually completely fucking isolated it completely. That's why Cindy 99 is Cindy 99, because it's been back crossed. Male, female, new stock, female to original male, new stock, new female to original stock, new stock, original new female, 9 times. You buy seeds, it's the same.
See, a lot of those things, even in animals, you're going to hit that point where you want to be like Red was saying. That's what we're saying. What you're looking for, right? So it does not necessarily have to be taken that far.
No, definitely not. That's just if you want to
Yeah.
100% work that line. But no, like, dude, if you find a bag seed and you fucking like it, dude, rock the fuck out of it, dude. That's the new fucking, that's new cookies, bro.
If I
You know?
on my cross here, from what I'm seeing, if I pop 50 seeds, I could probably do it 25, but I'm planning on doing 50 of one. And each one,
cookies.
if I do 50 seeds and I see only like 3 or 4 characteristics, I know I got something pretty stable.
Definitely.
If I see in the
Definitely.
in the F2s,
Well,
if I see that close in the F2s, I'm going to be in love because I love indica. That's
Definitely. When I did my Han Solo burger line, that did the Donnie burger, the orangutan, the Dr. Doom, and the Black Plague. The Dr. Dooms, so the GMO in the, dude, it definitely dominates. The orangutan grows pretty well the same. But the Dr. Dooms, the ones that are the indica pheno that I chose of 40 different phenos out of Napalm OG, which is Tahoe OG on Alien Kush, or excuse me, Alien Tahoe on Alien Kush. But the most indica pheno crossed to my Han Solo burger, which was GMO Larry F8. But that GMO and Larry F8, the cookies in that for some reason very dominates because the pheno they chose. So everything runs a lot. So, but the Napalm OG, when I hit it to it, actually I've popped a lot of the phenos. They're very, very symmetrical indicas. So the female side took over, which is cool because that breed actually was like, no, it's showing mainly like the male side.
See, that's where I go for the male. If I find in here, if I start growing all these and I find that in that where the male didn't hold the dominancy and the female holds through, now I'm going for a male of that female. Whatever looks at the female, I'm going for the male of that to do my back cross. Whatever looks identical.
Exactly, because I did that with my Doxo G line. Actually, I chose the most subtle male. So I had like 32 different strains I wanted to breed on. So I didn't want fucking the male to be on 32 different things and it all be the male. No, I wanted the female side to shine through. So I actually picked a subtle male so the female side had a chance to shine through, and it does. So like 8 out of 10 is definitely the female side. It's, again, dude, love it.
Well, I tell you what, Eagle, if you're listening, that beef stripping you talked about that one night, you were talking about, you learned from Subcore. He was like, this purple, rip it off. And sometimes you like take them all off. I'm telling you what, man, that's a great way to judge how fast your plant's going to grow. I mean, it's just, if it recovers really fast, you have something that's going to be more of a stretcher. That's what I'm seeing anyway. The indica is just like, they don't come back that fast at all. They're like, well, you just put me 2 weeks behind. But that's okay if you got a veg area. If you were needing to test something, is what I'm talking about. I appreciate it. It really helped.
They push up.
I can take you in here. This thing's they're taking off, and I'm like, holy shit. And one's jet fuel, pine, and a little bit of funk with skunk in the back. And it's that pine where it makes you go. It's that pine fuel that makes you go, holy shit, that's like turpentine, man. Super turpentine. Super turpentine jet fuel. I'm like, jet fuel? I've never had jet fuel. It's like, shit.
That feels good.
I don't know. I like the veg. I get excited with veg. I don't know.
I just want to say jet fuel.
Jet fuel, man.
Jet fuel.
What time is it? High octane. I should take you in here. I keep talking about it. I'm almost finished.
Jet fuel.
So one person I follow outside, well, he's slightly integrated in the cannabis realm, but more on the CBD hemp field. But the person I get pretty much a lot of my terpene knowledge from, Dr. Robert Pappas. He has a whole entire lecture thing that he does for he has a essential oil university, and you can on YouTube find his channel and go through his entire lecture and all that. And he has all these different terminologies for describing different way that terpenes come across, and like way to categorize and name them so we can identify and know what they smell like and use the same terms so we all know what we're talking about. well, two of them that are more scientific that we use, or that he uses, we use the term terpy, right? But there actually is an essential, in essential oil chemistry and perfumery, they call terpy weed terpenic. It's the grammar wise way to actually call it. And then we always use the term gassy or fuely for OGs. And it actually is pretty common outside of cannabis for a lot of essential oil producers to find what they call hydrocarbon. They don't use the term gassy, but they say hydrocarbon is for the general smell of what we're talking about when we say gassy. And that could be anything. That could be petrol fuel. It could be, octane, like you're saying, but it's usually an alkane. It's not so much of a terpene at that point, but it's the general smell that you smell when you smell gas or fuel, or it's an alkane, like octane. Octane is an alkane.
Y'all, I'm peacing out. Love y'all. Peace.
Yep.
Have a good one, man. That's it right there. Unfortunately, this is the one where I only got about 150, 200 seeds. 800, I
3
guess.
minutes before 420, anyways.
Yeah.
Is it?
I've been smoking this bowl. I'm gonna have to pack a new one for 420, I guess.
That's a skunk right
Oh
there,
yeah,
man.
it's a warm-up bong, bro.
Warm up.
Just warming
Very
up.
skunky. See, here you go. These were all from the same at Moose and Lobster, and they're all holding the same
real
structure. But they weren't. It wasn't the Moose and Lobster male, so they're getting the indica's coming through. The indica structure, the thicker, tighter. Like this one here was the Moose and Lobster. There's the clone of one of the Moose and Lobster phenos. That right there will be 5 feet if I don't soon flip it. And it's a little tiny 16 ounce, and I know it's gonna be 5 feet as soon as I put it in and flip it. Full, it'd be 5 feet full. So, damn it. There's that little. I butchered this one up. Look at this one. This was that 4 cloner back here in the bathroom. I kept saying I was gonna flower. I butchered that thing.
Why did you cut all the lower branches off?
Because I was gonna stick it outside. I didn't want all this green just showing up outside everybody's seeing it in my neighborhood, even though I can do it, but it's supposed to be covered. I was just gonna kill it. I was gonna kill it, but I decided not to kill it. So it looks pretty cool like that, though. I thought.
Looks like one of the trees from the movie Lorax.
Doesn't it look pretty cool, man?
My
I was like, oh shit,
favorite
man, I should
Dr.
have like
Seuss
2 inches.
story.
It's like it's like a ladder, right? It's like a ladder. It's like that ladder up the tree, bonsai. It's pretty cool, but it's old, man. It's 10 months old now. But these phenos here, man, these are all pretty much in the same structure, and these are all from different plants. See, these were all different phenos, or looked like different phenos. So that Moose and Lobster is really, really stable, really super stable. So is this Salmon River. But this one here, look at that.
I was paying attention to one of the nights you were here talking about those dynasty genetic. And
he works this stuff really good, man.
I've been chasing. I just haven't been able to get it because it's the only source. Maybe you could help hook me up. But there's the Huckleberry, the inbred line in 2015.
Yep.
The way that I got, or when I started following him, is he posted a male of one of those plants, and it's straight up purple stamen and purple flowers on a male. It's the most purple flowering. I'm sure the pollen is even purple too.
I got one back here. I got a Blue Magoo cookies back here that everything went purple. I mean, it's perfectly healthy. But this is a back cross here.
Do you know a way of getting those genetics other than a Dutch or a European seed bank?
No, I don't. See, I would see for me and any of that stuff, I don't care. If I find somebody like
420, guys.
Let me get back to the ball, man. Professor P doing that and has done that much work. I'm gonna go get one of his huckleberries, and I have something within it, and then I'm gonna go look for the huckleberry in that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go try to pull the huckleberry back out of it. Unless he is totally
the fruitier, less colorful one.
Unless what he was using in a cross what he would not typically grow, but he would only use it to bring out an expression of something. Like you could give me a goat, a buck that I might not keep, something I would want on my property, breed and everything, but I may want it to breed that female over there. And then you can take it back, or you could just give me semen. You know, I'd rather have semen than your dirty animals don't have to go on my property. but this here, look at this. This is a BX. This is a back cross. This is a BX1 here. And I don't know which one. These are both the same. This one had a little root rot, and I had to let it recover. Now it's coming back. These here, man. Oh man, I like the way they're growing. It's an interesting trunk. Interesting branching.
Do you always have them in those small pots? Because I think you can adjust plant morphology by the pot that it's in too.
Yeah.
Similar structure between different plants. That could have very well been if they were all in like a solo cup for too long or something. You know.
Well, I've vegged these out. I vegged them in 16 ounces for 60 days. And then as soon as I put them in, they were this tall when I put them in here 2 weeks ago, and they've doubled in height under veg in 2-gallon pots from 16. So what do you think? I think this one here is
it's something I've noticed. They'll tend to get real stretchy if they get kind of tight in the root zone. They'll like want to go straight up. If you get them like a little more area in their root space, they don't express that as much.
See, I like that because right now, if I want to throw these in like 10s, if I wanted to throw them in 10s, even though I don't want them getting bigger, I'm just going to go to like, if it's an indica, like this here is more indica leaner, I'll probably throw it in a 3, then feed it if I have to. This here will go in a 3. This little one will go in a 3. That'll go into I don't know. It took off the other day, man. I started bending it. I stripped it. Like some of these eagles, like I can't strip them fast enough. I'm like, hell yeah, man, one over here. I stripped it, and I was like, what the hell? Didn't I just strip her ass yesterday? And 2 days later. I mean, I was stripping them down bare like this thing, you know, taking every red leaf off, you know, and come back in the next day, and it's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I like this plant here, man. This is what I named number 3, but they're all pretty much alike. It's just they have a little bit different smells, man. Just that's pine and toe funk. Is that toe funk? A little bit of citrus. This one here, I think, is the this here is what is that? Maybe something on my fingers. That smelled weird. What the hell was that? I took it. You ever notice the bottom can give you a fresh? It's never been messed with. I don't do it at the bottom very often. Oh, there it is. That's that. Man, what is that? It's jet fuel, but it's something really high pitched. That's not the right. What's the right wording for the flavor? And it's something that's really not spicy. Man, what is that? It's beautiful, whatever it is in mixture. It's almost like something in alcohol.
Well, it could be
an ester. I mean, it's really hot.
We can't really give you an opinion on it, Rez, because we can't really smell it. So
well, I'm asking.
I'm sure we're going to be able to help you out. In that
it could be more. It could be actual alcohol. That's the whole thing of the chemistry of essential oils. They're categorized in many different compounds, and one of the biggest. If you're going to make a pie chart of what kind of terpenes, or in this case, terpene alcohols cannabis has, a lot of it does produce. And I do like the ones that are more terpene alcohol, the heavier ones, the ones that you don't smell from like 50 feet away, that's stinking up your pocket. I do like that. Everyone likes that, of course. I mean, I hope. I can think of people that hate that. But no, the ones that translate from the same way when you break up the bud and you get the smell of the broken up bud on your fingers, and then you smoke that and that same kind of smell coats your palate and you get to taste that smell. Those are sesquiterpenes and terpene alcohols. So if you're getting an alcohol note from that, that's probably an indicator of your senses are pretty dead on. You know what I mean?
Fruit in that one. Can't really tell what kind of fruit it is.
The alcohols can have fruitiness.
Sprayed alcohol on them, and it's got the alcohol smell.
No, I haven't sprayed it. These
It's not
have
like
never been
that.
treated with anything.
It's more perfumey. Some of them are alcohol. If it is extremely fruity, that could be an aldehyde or an ester, right? But those, because those tend to translate as more of a fruitiness type smell. But the alcohols, they tend to have more floral or woody smells.
These have not been sprayed with anything but with water.
Mm-hmm.
This one here I had this on my Instagram, but I haven't posted anything about it. This was in a little flat meat container, like, preservative meat you buy at the grocery store, that I had like 11 years and had in my tractor trailer. And I used it, and I put all those seeds on top of that. And this was the one it took. So what happened was I let it grow. It only had about, 8 ounces of soil in there, and the rest of it was these stones. And it grew for 60 days in that. I had a little bit of soil on top of it, but I set that whole thing flat down in here and just let it lay down. I pushed it the whole way down, and now it's curved itself back up. And I've been keeping the lights way up. The lights are not down as close as they could. The lights could be another 10 inches closer. But like I said, I took Spartan's philosophy, where he talked about commercial and said that if you can cover the whole roof like I did with cows, except for the middle here is open, just because I didn't know what was going to happen. Plus, I got 5Ks over here. Everything's going on separate timers for shit to come on and off. Since I don't have one of those fancy lights, I'm trying to do it myself.
Well, boys, I hate to do it, but it is time to wrap it up. I got
Wrap it up.
Thanks, Abel.
Yeah, hold the box up a little bit.
And this is a Dave Chappelle team night.
It seems to be.
I'm Rick James.
Charlie Murphy. You came back from the dead.
Thanks for having me up, Eagle.
Yeah, good to see you. Red.
Good sitting with the red pill. Smiley.
Peace out.
Red.
I love all you guys. I'm rolling
3
out.
hours, man. Rez, ready, red pill.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.
Guys. Peace out.
Peace out, Red. Smiley.
That's the
Ready to
book.
hit it. Eagle. Thank you, sir. From the bottom of my heart. Appreciate you. Love you, man.
You, brother. Have a good night. Good morning. Thank all of you guys for popping in, man. I appreciate all of you guys for hanging out at this panel. Smiley and everybody that popped on, Ready, Rez, everybody, World's Last Hope, of course, Red Pill. Anybody else I forgot? Terrible. A little laggy right now. I'm tired, man. I've been out for good 24 hours solid, and I probably still got another hour easy before I can think about going to bed. So I'm going to try to blow through these shout outs right quick. Get some music going here. No stuff crazy. What's up, 808? Tomorrow will be another fucking wormhole. Tomorrow's Monday, so it will be a wormhole. Fucking tonight was another mix up with the guests. Had to reschedule for another day. So frustrated on the guest department part of shit. It is what it is. What can I find that I won't get in trouble for? So let's see what I can find. Give it a shot. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, here. Oh, sorry. Now I can breathe. I thought I had my mic off. Sorry. Blowing my nose in the fucking mic. Jeez. Always a pleasure to have you guys. Let's see what we can get. Some Bubba Sparks. Start rolling through this. I think I did 15 minutes. 15 minutes yesterday. Gotta get it. What I remember there. Ah. That's funny. All right. Here we go. So cool. D's House of Dank, Mama Law 710, Scarecrow 420, Green Thumb Bum, Christina AG89, Unplugged 705, Medical McGullicuddy, Rick T, The Rebel, the IG207, Fabian Salinas, Dave's not here, Tom Spook, Greg Walker, Bendo Dope, T Dog, Dung Beetle, Red Eye Jedi Girls, Mother Nature, Justin Conway, Duckweed, Run Boy 7426, Justin Gooder, Strongman, Okie Grower 75, Corey Trevor, Michael Wallace, Mole Vision 420, Who's Your Cat Daddy, Taco Don Slug, Rick S, In the Bushes 827, James Seaman, Kevin Howland, World's Last Hope, Pats Fan 425, Merchant, Dirt Road Dude, Candace Sheba, Jose Ramirez, Red Eye Rustler, Deb Gabo, Dr. Buzz Lightyear, Acetone, 710, Canuck, Kenwood, Queen Genetics, Stabby Tanaze, Fumdor, Dirtman, Dan, Keith Black, Sales, Mr. Bacillus, Sun Premium Gardens, Ross Bob, Ross Jeff, Soil Roots, Small Tube, Tyler, Frosty Boots, Frosty Buds, Menor Michigan Micro, Ouija Buds, Door, Dub T, Roy, Big Jar Gross, JC, Modern Genetics, SoCal Weedner, John, Last PPJ 15, Green County Grower, CJ Apple, Perfectly Imperfected, Dollar Tree Grower, T1 Productions, Dank Grower, DOA, Grown Meds, Miss Nudie Grows, I Grew Some, Johnny Candy Seeds, Nutrient Shootout, Naughty Nicky, Zoe and Slammer, Pixel Monkey, St. Bernard's Observation Booth, Clover 420, High Spy, Aldridge 25, Manatee, Stu Moon, Mo Grower, The Candy Crate, Loki Grows, Cast, This Guy, Burton 79, Polish Hammer, Midwest Outlaws 31, Voodoo Ultras, Fresno Nerds, Kelly Connections, Wolverine Rome, Big Jar Grows, Jimmy One for Life, way back Farmer D Block, MMP Nations, Creations, Amber Lana, Psychedelic Warlock Artist LD, Sir Sticky Rob, Big J 420, Brent Wendell, Big Ed 1961, Metawani G3, The Green Click, J&K Triple G, Mr. Sprinkling, Brittany and Tyler Teasley, Hope Farms, Lisa and G, John B2 Crazy 4, UBG, WG 420, Dr. Budswell, Pump Thumb OG, Arthro Sensimelia, Arthro Just Face 420, Beast Coast Grower 420, Sir Howe, Trey Valone, Keep It Real, Haggerton 420, Zub Zeppelin, Audit Everywhere, BT Double D Grows, Bingus, Green Cover Man, Alex Boy, Chef Life, School of Crop, Cause I Love It, Green Mountain Grower, Southwest Okie, Real 100 212, Miranda Family Farms, Page Farm, Meow Flower, Ryan Henderson, Green 13, Noob Shellbot Wins, Kingdom Aquaponics, Indra, Michigan Native, Mary Jane's Med Garden, Streamer 77, Double D, Bad Bunny Nutrients, Mr. Green Pots, Mr. Green Nugs from 619 to 664, Brandon Kruger, Jones to Grow, Papa G Grows, Raz Amy Dro Grows, Cass to Grow from Your Heart Podcast, Lily Lunar, The Green Bed Flock, Jeremiah Moran, Sony Creek, Lost Art, Mr. No One, LG Farms, Mr. LG420, Giant Mike, Prometheus Soil, Jason Eyestone, P. Wynn, David Colby, P. Mason 662, Scroggy makes Scroggington, The Goddess Grows, Kaylee, Chad Brad Family Farms, Polly P. Bjorg, Eric Ferguson, Kevin Jodry, Mike Honcho, Jay Huggins, UDA, Green Tree Hugger, Green Tree Hunter. Man, my nose is stuffed up like crazy. Green Kush Cloud, Joshua Steensland, Organic Home Buds, Warren Nelson, Cam Wood, May Mystic, Show Love Always, Kelly Stone, Texas OG, Chuck Norris, Serge S, Claire Fresno, Happy Guy, Dan the Indoor Man, Grummy's Homage, Hamilton Grows, Clip Smoke, Keystone, Canna Flag, PA, Big High 710, Eugene Greenleaf, Ace Drew Hustle, Fred Darren Carlos, Big or North Arizona Beer Grow 420, No Salt, Jesse White, Scott State Yeti, Introvert, Zoso J, Vixen, Robin, Killer 8 Mo, Cam Wood, James Buttercream, C Dub from NorCal, the Pharmacy Seed Bank, Jethead, Smokey 616, Curtis Mahan, Matt Myron, Morte, Rick May Hyman, Stephanie Dora, Antenna Seeds, Vicarious K, Roy Krubels, Drew Bear 420, Maxi 751, Lawrence Gonzalez, Slow to Get Up, Stu Moon, Pop Coast 719, Bake with Shake, Baby, Old Smoke, PWC Grown Buds, Laura Wash, Mr. Weed Blunt, Old School Grower, Chad Westport, Honcho Grown, Flora Nugs, My Little Piece of Heaven, Hundred Sounds Lead, Seeds, Goliath Grower, Richard T, Critzy Wannabe, Mr. Soul, Food Spectrum, Gone God, Laurie Hanson, Real, 2,000 Years Tricks, Tradition, Mr. D. Conley, Pimp Jam, Big Bodie Face, Show Me Squad Squatch, Fuck Google and you, I'm going well, baby. Canadian Restore, Poor Dirt Farm, will call Wright, Zeffner, Humble Farms, Tannery Farm, Seldom Seen, Oak Park Gardens, Hell 9782, Skunky Pilots, Martial Arts 2012, the Micro Slave Hefner, Daniel McDizzle, Medically Fake, Robert Greenfingers, Motherfucking Tonto, Thomas, Rancho Costa Plenty, Monkey Balls, Andrew Chaplin, Bobby Lynn Means, Trent Digger, Mr. Mac, Tonya Like Baloney, Bill S., Weed Peas, Trader Delicious, Minty, Country Roots, Here on Fire Genetics, Earth Creeper, Big Ray 420, Teeny 101, Big Buds and Hazard, Mr. Club 14, Bearded B-Man Farm 616, Null Up, Max Groom Ruby, Timothy McKimmons, Neo, Justin Beads, Chronic 88, Fat Belly, Real, Jennifer Steele, Kimbus 03, Turp Farmer, Channing Stevens, Carlitos, Latinos, Gator Country, Gator, Mr. Weed, Mr. Speed, Wolfstein Fire, so Wally, Wookie, The Goddess Grows, Rasta Bob, White Feather Grows, Burning Shrooms, Tone Grows, Tank, Caveman Grows, BX Grunner, Smith Dude, Noob Grows, Sean McCannon was here this morning. Shout out, brother. Miss you, son. Jay Munch, Dank and Janet, Wawa, Cannon Grove, Fall Dog, Huron, Canvas Council, Alicia Parrish, Rock Fam, Justin Smith, 420 Ben, Fresh Grove, Thriving Herbs, Hi Boy, Your Mailman Grows, We Be Growing, Australia, and Grown. For Love of the Plant, Argo, American, Spot Poker, Unfrozen Caveman, Hawaii's Highest Surf Crab, Micro, Goon, Jeff Lonefells, Mobius Grows, Dank, Brownie, Sandy, Elliot Harkins, May, Mystic Flavor, The Foraging Gardener, Overwater, Overkill, Seattle, Steve, Shadow Warrior, Valley Green 514, Amelia Jensen, Oz Indica, Dr. MJ Coco, Brandon Russ, Matthew Gates, D's Bags, Road Star, Shotgun Willie, Dank, Yoda, Jay Simmons, Sure Bro Grows, Clackamas, Who DJ Conley, Aaron the Grower, Michigan Grown Buds, Your Boy Roy Boy, Delta 9, Jay McDaniels, Clackamas 420, Sinky Colas, Dylan Steinford, PFC Farms, Husky Garden, Sungrown 707, J8 Dro, J420, Cascadian Grows, T-Toads, McGee, Four Plants A, Weedworks, Captain Scrog, Skunky Buns, Hans Warrior, Jackie Young, Terry Lee Live, Begatsu Tempe, Andy Ed, D Urge, Green Jr., Leon from All Purpose Plus, Green Goose, 11 Smiles 11, Bindu Buds, Micro Rasa Grow, 311 Mix Up, Kinder Grow, Evergreen, G, Friends, M Tree, MMJ, Matt S, Save Vault, Dragonfly, Matt, Justin Mads, Travis Walls, Lucky Mike, Seattle Chronic Seeds, King Chronic, Titans Coast, Blessed Coast Seeds, Titan from Blessed Coast Seeds, Shingo Gas, Vasco for Life, John Smith, Tommy Tricos, Book King, Rannis, Pop Little, Slow Roll, Swanky Pod, Oscar Green Jr., Leah Sealbird, Matt Sealbird, Indo 11, Stephanie B, Sharp Pulley 989, Brown, Sovereign Garden, Stone Nation 420, Tommy Tricombs again, Joe Y, Bugs 1, Paint 313, Rower, Painted Lady, Frank Booth, Jay Myers, Jamid, Chat, Mr. Manny D, Bagsy, Dr. DGC Jeff, Starter 911, Dutch Grows 420, Scallywag 420, Skillbow 1, Bed Grower 1, Empire Breeding Co., Growley, Lost Leaf, Liam Mass, Danny Danko, B Bear 7, Allie Noble, CK, Tom Trinidad, Looney Jester, Smoke with Small Town, Tom S, Mr. Lazy, Raptor Grows, Rob, Automation is Freedom, Robert Hazelton, Drawer, Michigan Core, Double Tap, Mr. Green Thumb 420, 808, Rooting Prospects, Can Bus Driver, Hating Life, Kenny 710, Operation Grow, T-Ben, TM 42696, Rude Nuts, Hammer D Nails, Dr. Scrambles, VB Moonrocks, GF Double J, Bio Green, Self Grower, Hanky Stanky 420 OG, KP, Ganja Nana, Your Mama, George Joe, Roy Rodriguez, Be Growing, Nature's Best Nug, Killer Bee Grows, Ganja Wizard, Husky Gardens, Nut Tree 420, Dr. Ooh, Soul Life, Bully for Life, the Jeffro 420, Dr. Franklin Booty, goddamn, I make Ted's Test. Oh man, I thought I was done with that one. I definitely need a drink. The Riff Fat Boy, Jack Greenstock, 420, 420, Boom Farms, Charlie Farms, Aldridge, 25, Smiley's Garden, JD's, Misty Snug, Smoke Girl Frazier, Rokoski, Twisted Roots, Faded Farm, 420, Jeff Dorowski, Ben, Genetic Memory Farms, Vault 420, Cameron, Mr. Bagsy, Jill Carter, Mystic Roots, Mystic Marks, Mystic Rower, Ginger Snaps, and the gentleman that told me to take him off the list. Oh. No hard feelings there. Ginger Snap, CTE, Gross A, Rick Wolf, DLP 2372, Ned Denver, Mike Denver, Sergeant Pepper 420, Cannon Trooper, Flying Cat 420, Light It Up Again, Tim, UKSIF 420, Buddha Boy, Jeb Shipwreck, Medical MJ, Budsville, USA, Resurrection Prophet, Chris Martinez, Dank Man 420, Dank Man Dan, Red Center Farms, Good Life, Joni Bell, GTP, Most Hated Grower, the Major General 420, Major, the American One, W Digger 714, Shirates, Kineos, Synetics, Mountain Skies, Ready to Hit the Hot Fire, Chris Mertz, Ian, Save Robbie, Sergeant Life, Happy Fake Cam, Finger Lakes, 5 minutes, Ridge Patch, Dozer Moon, Southern BT Grower, Choose Medical, Bear, Plus One, Mushroom, Secret City, Pioneers, My Little Tent, 2040 Space, 2042 Spacewalker, Christian, Tree Mump, T. Barrington, Heart and Soul, Homegrown, Mike B, T. Dwayne, East Coast Will, Heidi Day, Galactic Garden, Sean Smith, Elliptus, My Natural Fire, Pacific Northwest, Riot's, Kai, Paul, Lemon Holco, Trent Digger, Gritty's Juicy Life, the Richard 420 Grant Manual, Mary Bond, Sammy Sizzle, 9 Inch Colas, Chris Moo, DK Trades, Chris Vision Creator, Guru, The Kind Brew, Canada Nation, Jay Wire. Yeah, try to blow his nose. Almost didn't mic back on. Wow, Bobby, Sean Pins, Rescue Ready, Roadside, Notorious Snug, Magma Seeds, Father and Son Tutorial, Trimming Tutorials, Dub T Danks, Jose, Martin Perez, Doggo the Hug, 420 M Bug, Chiba Man, GR 420 Community Videos, Detroit River Rat, Louis Garcia, Michael P, AJ Everyday, Cheddar Bob 13, Main Mystic, 420 Bed Grower, Cookie Scoop, 8, Ken J, Kendricks, In for the Grill, Backwoods All God. Backwoods all good. There. That's right. Sally Manson, Adam Shrankin, Chanel Simpson, One Smoke Away, Ganja Roach, Kazoo, Aaron Burnett Rooms, Mr. Lincoln Sinkin, Angel Studio MG, the 420 Grochan, Paul Diella, John Fleming, Dankovich, Kibo F Side, Fiber, Flower, Polly P, Seldom Seen, Elevated, Lenny, Organic, Sunman, Chiba Sunny, Jeff Popalik, Rose, Ricardo Sosa, Dan J, Earth Friendly Farming, Candy Forest, Farming, fuck all that be. The Misfit Grower, Jason Line 512, Snake Eyes, Northern 4466, Jason Greystone, Kent, Stony, Baker MD, Stony Creek, Russ, Zion, French Dweller, Tarzan, Superman, Old Man Hermit Ass, Free Bird, Bo Gore, The Matty Guard, Simple Man, Survival Time, Tim Blake, Gulf Coast, Chronic, Stink Fat, Chemo, F-Side again, Cavallero, Harvey Grower, Jen God, Jason Line 512, Seattle Conics, Collins, sorry, Steve. Todd Kendricks, Property Maintenance, Sharpie, The Island Haze, Scuba, Steve Speaks, J.R. Round, Randy K, TCDR, Claire Fred, Killian, Wardrobe, Rowdy, Rich, Randy, Grande, Piff 1000, Ace Boog, 3223, Wake Up, Captain Freedom Beak, Puffer Smiles, 15 digits, Michigan Ganja, Mook, Fred G, Jihadi, Super Bob. Holy cow, I think we're almost done here. Weekend at Bernie's, 808 Groski, K-Bag, Justin Station, Strong Style, Zippy, iMedic, Honesty, K-Hell, Me All Flower, Brent Boog, Todd Kendricks, Newton, K&T, Chris D, True Share, 4x4, Natty Dread, Barbara Matthews, Ancient Soul, Grown, Kevin Jiu-Jitsu, Canna, Health and Happiness, Berserk 215, Collab, Low Cut, Abu Tremblay, Mo Manic, Meds, Range, Betsy, Helen, Hugh Janus, James T, Big Daddy, LT Gardens, Big High, 420, Lobster Brush, Bro, Mother Tree, Maine, Red Pill, Your Boy, Roy Boy, Ecstatic, Shannon Gibbons, Ruhan, Rick W, Comfortably None, One Smoke Away, the 840 Grow Show, Richard Lamb, Red Pill, Cannabis Pursuit, K Rolling, Worthy Buzz, Logan Man 81, Oil and Flower Podcast, Buddha Blake, Buddha, Baby Buddha Blake, rather. Cheers to you, my friend. Authorized Freck, Warren Dixon, Pink Lady Luck, El Mondo 420, surrounded by Keith, Ferrari Farms, Fringe Dweller, Single Farmers, Happiness Without Guilt, Richard Forbes, Daniel Papala, B4P Funk, Nick T, John Reese, Without Bob, Prince Patty, Daniel Birdman, Green Puffin Man, B. Bunley, James Chung, Sarge 818, Wayne, Josh Wayne, John Wayne. Damn, my handwriting is bad. Counseling Root, Sister Golden Hair, Dina El Dancarino, PFC, KF, K&F Farm, K&F Gardens. For the third time, K&F Gardens. Get some sleep, man. Whew. What else we got here? We're almost done. Blank, 10:30, choosing one. Only Beat, Farmer James, Crypto Dope, James Lamb, Hip Grower, Matt Javon, Dan Marino, Maine, Chronic Wonders, Surprise Grow, Top Floor Genetics, Mo Vision 420, Can 2 Cannabis, Jess Fisher, My Dog Nelia, Rooster Farms, Alex Hardy, Hardy Gear, Medicropper, Daniel Grows Photos, Michigan or Mitten Gummies, Sunrise Grow, Lexi and My Baby Girls, Mo No Limit, 1960 or 1916, Grumpy Toad, Alchemist C, Canna Minx, Born to Something, Ross Joe, last but not least, Weedus 207. Man, I think felt like that shout out list took forever. You guys, please join me this Monday evening when it'll be a wormhole. The wormhole will start at 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock, 2 a.m. Myself or somebody will fire up the wormhole tonight, 2 a.m. If you're a past guest and interested in popping on, feel free. Come on in. What it's for. You guys hopefully have an amazing day. You guys know the routine. If this is the end of your day, please get some rest like I'm going to do very soon. This is the beginning of your day. Please make it an amazing day. Most importantly, please help somebody out. So easy to do. Just compliments, sometimes a little bit of cash, help with the door, ride to work, anything counts. Takes people a long way. Don't make them ask. You guys have an amazing day. Look forward to seeing you tonight. I am out of here. Love you guys.